All right, welcome to Indie Corner. We're talking about all things independent comics. I'm Mikey.
I'm Christian.
I'm Demoan.
And today, people are back at it again with another episode of the Indie Corner Presents. And this time, it's a little different, obviously, because it's that time of the year. It's that wonderful
Kwanzaa.
season. Kwanzaa. It's
Yeah,
cute. Well, all
I
of
think
the
Hanukkah
holidays.
starts around this time too.
Does it?
probably. And
I
those are
wanna
the
say-
two celebrating things that we're celebrating today.
I think it actually started this Sunday. Like last Sunday was
Sunday?
the start of Hanukkah. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that.
Happy first day or second day of Hanukkah, everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I think
L'chaim.
actually we'd be in the third day now technically, but again, don't quote me on this.
Happy
Yeah.
one of the days of Hanukkah.
All right.
And-
Well, besides Hanukkah, also it's Christmas. It's also Christmas. As you can see, we're all dressed up in like Christmassy attire. Yeah, because our holiday special, people. It's our holiday special. Wanting something special for the holidays, and plus, it's probably gonna be our last podcast of 2023. So, I want to make it a little special for you. But today, yeah, we're doing our holiday special. We're gonna be doing a Christmassy book today. A book that I've known about for the past couple years. I've been trying to actually do this book since we were on the Students Who Shield, but didn't get a chance to do it. It's this lovely little book called Klaus, written by the legendary, talented, acid-inducing Grant Morrison, and drawn by the amazing Dan Mora, and was published by Boom Studios, not Image, because we usually do a lot of Image books on here, but no, this one's a Boom Studios book, and it was published back in 2016, so it's been around for a while. And yeah,
it doesn't
people,
disappoint.
it does not disappoint at all. We're gonna get right into it. But yeah, guys, I'm excited. Hope y'all are excited. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it, people. So we're just getting into the cheer. Yeah. Also, give a comment on like who has the best fit. I think it's me, but like Demoan got the whole beard going, so I don't know. He might be one up at me.
Whoa! Why am I not a part of this? I got anime.
Oh, I'm sorry.
titties.
Christian has the anime girls in the back, so like he's also.
Come on, man! Look! I got two.
Can we take votes away from him?
I mean, it's up to the viewers here. It's up to the viewers.
Viewers.
But yeah, we'll
If
just
you're
go into
people of culture, put in the comments who wins. 1 for Mikey, 2 for me, and then 3 for also me.
All right, fair enough, Christian. Fair enough. So humble,
Okay.
so modest.
I try.
But yeah, people, we're just gonna get right into the book. So yeah, I think I'm the one who has issue 1 here.
Yes, sir.
So we'll just get right into it. So issue number 1 of Klaus. So, and we're obviously we're gonna do our thing talking about covers. I love this cover, bro. Straight up shows it like, yeah, this is a different type of like Christmas book. I don't even think people when they picked up this book knew it was a Santa Claus book at all. Once you look at it, I don't know what your thoughts on it.
I definitely can't tell just from looking right off the top.
They made
I'm not gonna
Santa
lie.
into a Giga Chad, which I respect.
What do you
Okay,
mean made him
Chad.
into one?
Oh shit, you're right. They really emphasize his Giga Chad in this cover.
Is there lore out there where Santa Claus has a wolf?
I
Like,
don't
it
know
does-
actually.
Like,
don't
is
know.
instead of reindeer, are
Yeah.
there wolves pulling his sleds in some of
Yeah,
them?
there's surprisingly not a lot of reindeer in this comic book. It's kind of
Honestly, there's surprisingly a lot of wolves pulling
Maybe
sleds.
there is. I don't really know how much like lore Grant Morrison pulled from like actual like like lore and from of Santa Claus, but maybe
Mhm.
who knows?
I feel like the lore went through a filter of like a 14-year-old who was like, "This is all fucking badass. Let's put him in here. Like, fuck the deer. We'll give him wolves. Let's make Santa jacked as fuck. Add a milf in there because people love the milfs." And
People
I'm
do
for
like
it,
milfs.
honestly. I like it a lot. They did a great job.
Yeah, but great cover. Dan Mora kills it. I love his artwork in this. But yeah, so obviously this book starts with a mysterious man going through the snowy wilderness. Going towards this upcoming town called I think it's Grimvig.
Sure.
One of the two pronunciations.
I was real bad with the pronunciation. I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's Grimvog because Grimvog just sounds right. And yeah, he's just going up with this town with his sled of I believe like pelts and furs and wares. And yeah, we get this awesome splash page and the title card Klaus, and it just says, I love how it says how Santa Claus began. So I love this page. It's beautiful, beautiful page. of just him looking off in the distance. Yeah, I get Witcher vibes from this character from Klaus. I don't know what it is. I read him as Geralt.
No, I see it.
Like I read him as like Henry Cavill as Geralt, like when I was reading this book. But yeah, but that's just me. So yeah, we get the next page here of of Klaus entering this bar, this bar to get some nice old ale. And I love how fact like this town of Grimvog is very very like grim, kind of like dark and just joyless, especially because it's like what Klaus says while he's narrating is it's Yule time right now, so like basically Christmas season. He expects to see lights and all that stuff, lights, trees, people playing around. But yeah, no, it's just empty, and it's just like no laughter, no nothing, and then we'll get right into it in terms of why that is. But yeah, so he talks to the barkeep, the barkeep, and he's asking him, hey, like what's going on? Like this place used to be so happy. It's like, yeah, no, we don't really do the whole joy thing anymore. Ever since the Baron's been in power. Yeah, he's like no, he's like and thing is like Klaus is trying to talk to him about, hey, like, I'm trying to sell these furs and whatnot. He's like, listen, man, we don't really do our business with strangers. Yet another rule. So like, yeah, you should just pass through and just take your business elsewhere. And he ends up getting into some of the guards. Trying to ask about what he's doing and try to get some info on this guy, so then they can figure out what to do with him. I was like, yeah, no, I got my furs, dog. I just came out hunting. I'm trying to have something to trade, something to sell for food, for tonight. And then instead he's like, nah, we're just gonna take your stuff away. And he's like, nah, please don't do that. That's not nice. And we also get this introduction of this kid. I forget his name, but I don't think his name is really mentioned here. But yeah, this kid is also trying to ask. I think they'd say I think they refer to him as as a wolf man or something like that, or like something like mythical. But yeah, like they're trying to get his attention. The guards come in, take some of his stuff away. Wild man, there we go.
Wild man.
And trying to take his stuff away. He doesn't want no beef. And then one of the kids ends up, getting slapped in the face with his guard. And then you see this man just like, you're hitting children? Cowards. Like, you're armed men, which is like not okay. So then he ends up getting into a scuffle, and you expect this big Giga Chad, according to Christian, to win. But nah, he gets his ass beat.
Gets jumped. He gets jumped.
He gets jumped in like he was a Crip initiate. Like it was just it's crazy. Yeah.
Real Giga Chads get their ass beat. I think that's what we could learn from.
But only for the children.
Only for the kids.
Only for the kids. And then while this is going on, we get the next page of one of the generals. General Harold, I believe his name is. Looking over the distance, watching this unfold. And then we get the introduction of basically the antagonist of this book, Lord Magnus. And he's, very typical, dark fantasy, just like evil dude archetype. And he's just like, he's enjoying watching Klaus get his ass beat because, as he says here, it's Yule time after all. It's time for fun. So I'm just like, yeah, you can tell off the bat, he sucks. But yeah, and then while that's happening, Klaus is bound up and is basically being led out of the town by these soldiers for them to just kill him out in the wilderness.
They really set themselves up for the most dangerous game situation, and it backfired almost immediately.
Exactly. So while they're preparing to kill him, we actually some of the archers are actually shooting arrows from the castle walls, just to hit him as target practice. And then while he's trying to cut himself free, he said hey, do you have any last words, wild man? You want to die like the dog that you are? And he's whistling, and he's like, oh, I guess he's trying to sing a tune, just so that's his last words. He wants to die out. He wants to die out while whistling some music. Nah, he's summoning his wolf, and the wolf ends up biting the crap out of killing some of these guards. And it's a really cool shot. And this wolf here is named by the name of Lily, Little Wolf, and I love her. She's great.
She's so precious.
She's so precious.
I like this dog. Yes, good dog.
Good dog. But yeah, But yeah, like while Lily saved his life, they're basically trying to reconvene and figure out what to do because they don't have any skins. They don't have anything to trade. So like, what are they gonna do for food? That's basically like what's gonna go on, and they have to figure out how to like survive the cold. It transitions to the character the Lord Magnus's son by the name of I forget his name. We're gonna call him Little Shit for now, just because that's exactly what he is. But yeah, one of the things about this the rules that the Lord Magnus put on Grimwald is that there's no like toys aren't allowed. So like so all the toys that are made or are brought into the town of Grimvog are just taken to his son because he's convinced the townspeople that yeah, like my son is dying or whatever, he has a condition. And the only thing that's gonna make him feel better is like the toys and the all the toys in the village. So they all have to donate all of their toys to him. And what he does is just break them all because he's just ungrateful and just like he just can't be satisfied.
His name is Jonas.
He really goes
like
no,
he really goes full Godzilla.
Yeah. Jonas is his name, aka Little Shit.
Little
yeah,
Shit,
what are your thoughts
aka
on
Tiny Godzilla?
Tiny Godzilla.
Look at him crushing this little town. He's a huge little monster man.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have done the same thing as.
And the thing is, he's crushing a town. He's crushing like a model of Grimvog that was made by a craftsman for him, and he's just like it sucks. It's boring, and he's asking
and
his
apparently
dad.
Took them a year to make it, which they'll mention later on.
Yeah, and then he acts like, who made this rubbish? Like, why is nothing good enough? And then it's just like, I ask myself I ask myself the same thing, Jonas. Like they're both just bad people. Like the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, and that's kind of what this page shows. But it also is addressed, and most importantly, that like Jonas hates like Yuletime. He hates Christmas season, just because like he just never gets what he wants because he's never satisfied at all. But yeah, while this is it transitions to we get introduced to his mother, and I always forget her, and I also forget I'm forgetting a lot of the names here. But she is basically talking about the rumors of the wild man showing up and like that, and talking about like like he's a man that like lives with wolves and he's just a savage and all that. But Jonas finds that very interesting, and then he mostly is most like well, what's my Yuletime present? And then she said, listen, don't worry, your Yuletime present's going to be here. Stop being an ungrateful little shit. Yeah, it's just them, just talking more about the wild man. And we get a cool page. I didn't put it here because I'm not trying to get sued or whatever. But we get a cool page of Klaus and Lily like attacking this big ass elk. Like I think it's a reindeer, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's revealed that like what they're eating at this dinner was the stuff that Klaus hunted. So yeah, so it transitions to Lily and Klaus at their nice little home, and I love their little home. It's very nice and quaint. It's in the woods, in the wilderness. It's so nice. They're just making he's brewing up like a stew outside of his house, and he's talking to Lily about hey, like I just got my ass beat. I need to heal. So yeah, I'm gonna make some healing soup, and it has some magical powers in it. So you can't have it. So just stick with the bone that you're gnawing on. Yeah, like so.
Honestly, I think this is really mean. He's withholding magic soup from his dog.
That's true.
It's not for the dogs. It's for the spirit people to get high off of with them.
Oh, thanks for ruining it, Christian. Because I was just about to get there.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was supposed to be a spoiler.
But yeah, so basically just talking about how like it's completely wrong that like Magnus is trying basically like outruling Yuletime because it's important that people can be with their families and like that the people in the mines because I didn't mention this before, but Magnus is basically overworking his citizens in the mines for an unknown reason. They should be with their family. They should be having fun. And he just doesn't like that. So he's just, he's going to make some tea. And he wants to play a tune for what he describes as the Shining Family. And we got a comment here. Oh, Sarah. Sarah says, hello. What's up, friends? Hello, Sarah. We're doing well. We're just we're just getting into Santa's origin here. It's good stuff, you know, because
We're gonna go on a drug trip.
We're gonna go on a drug trip.
Santa.
So yeah, we see Klaus you know, sings play a I think it's a lute or a flute, something like that. A flute, playing something on his flute, and we see these like spirits. I guess this is what the Shining family is. These spirits.
Do you guys think that these are supposed to be the elves in like the real Santa Claus lore?
Maybe. Like I don't know.
I would have to assume so, but they look very alien-esque.
They do. That's what I thought too. Like they look like they're from either like aliens or like fourth dimensional beings. But yeah, so like he's playing a song for these spirits, and guess what? The fucking magic tea kicks in, and this Santa just drops straight up acid. It's crazy. Like I love how this is drawn. He's just having a full on just trip. And
it's so pretty.
And it's gorgeous. And he's really talking about how like, oh yeah, there must be a way, and like he's just saying something. There must be a way. There has to be an answer. Show me the answer. So the spirits are trying to like show him something here while he's on this like spirit walk, essentially. And so he walks through the woods, and he ends up waking up back at his campfire, nice and refreshed after Lily actually licks him awake, which is pretty funny. And he's like, oh, like I must have missed daylight all 5 minutes of it. And then he's like, oh, like, you know, like what does this like what does this mean? What are the Shining family like? Show me. And then he looks around, he's like, oh, what's all this? And then it's revealed that like, I guess while he was on his acid trip, he just made a bunch of toys. And he's just like, what am I supposed to do with this? And that's how issue 1 ends. So thoughts on issue 1?
Now, it's implied that he made a shit ton of toys because his hands are hurting afterwards.
Yeah.
But who's not to say he was just aggressively masturbating the entire time while the spirits were making the toys?
I guess there's really no one.
Yeah,
but
there's no one to say. It's to the viewers in the comments. What was Klaus doing? If he wasn't,
what was he doing?
Why does his hand hurt so much? Yeah,
yeah, but yeah,
I think he was making toys.
Was he chopping his wood?
Apparently, the spirits wanted him to make a bunch of toys. I don't know to
well,
spread
I will
joy.
say one thing that I think we slightly glossed over is that whenever there was an issue in the town, he would just say like, "It's not my problem," as if he shouldn't be involved.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when he was talking about the children, he was like, "Oh, children should be getting stuff on Yuletide, but that's not my problem. I just won't be involved."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That was a really important part. So that's why he finds it so off-putting that he just made toys while he was while he was tripping on acid. So yeah, it makes sense. That's something. Thanks, Demoan. But yeah, like, what are your thoughts on like just this initial issue? Just start out the story. I don't know. You have anything you have to say?
I very much like Klaus. I like you said. I think it kind of has that little bit of a Witcher vibe, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just enjoying it. It's good art, and I love Santa Claus.
Yeah, I also really like the art. This first issue really blew me away with just like the character design, the colors, the environment, and all that stuff. It really just slapped me in the face with top quality artistry.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dan Mora's artwork. He did the first volume of Buffy, like the recent Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like the reboot that they did with Boom. And also he does a book with Boom called Once and Future, which is really popular, which maybe we'll cover one day. I love that book a lot. It's phenomenal. So yeah, and he also does some stuff with DC. So yeah, when I found out that that Grant Morrison, who I'm also a big fan of in terms of his writing, did a Santa book and they got Dan Mora to do it, I was like, okay, there's this book is probably going to be sick. So yeah, but yeah, I think Klaus is a very interesting character, very kind of like a reluctant hero in a way, where like, yeah, he minds his business and just does what he needs to do, but like he sticks up for the right thing, kind of like Geralt. Like that's literally Geralt in The Witcher, you know, same qualities. And I do like the fact that Morrison is taking aspects or maybe some stuff within like, you know, Yuletime like lore and history and kind of making that his own in terms of his interpretation of Santa Claus going in initially. So yeah, I like the fact that also like Jonas mentions like he wanted like little people, so I'm assuming he meant elves in a way, but Who knows? Or maybe what Christian said, like maybe the or Demoan, I think how the Christian Demoan said, but like yeah, maybe the spirits are the elves. We don't know, but it's really cool stuff that it's really cool lore that he's built frameworking here. I think it's really it's what Grant Morrison does. He loves lore, so yeah. Alrighty then.
Lore is very good.
So yeah, so I guess all I gotta say. Who's got issue number 2?
Yeah, that's me. I got issue 2.
Dope.
Okay. So, okay, just gotta make sure. Okay, so no. So we start off, this issue. It says 2 of 6, but there's 7 issues, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. I just realized that too. Like, I guess like this book was so like good. He's like, oh shit, maybe I gotta add an extra issue, or maybe he just forgot that like he wrote a 7-issue arc. Like,
I think maybe he just storyboarded bad. I don't know.
If people who don't know backstory, the reason why I said acid trip in the first issue because Grant Morrison is known for like back in the day, he did a lot of acid when he was writing his books in like the 80s and like the 90s. So like I wouldn't be surprised if like he did acid for this book too, like or came up with the idea on acid.
You know what? I would believe that. But anyway, like I said, we're starting with the cover. This is our boy Klaus. This is like the first cover, I think. I know it's only the second cover, but this one I can kind of see where they're getting like, oh, he's becoming Santa Claus.
Yeah,
because it has like the red cape and the bag of toys. I assume it's toys.
It could be explosives.
Oh,
I don't think it could be that one.
It's toys, Christian. But yeah, like that first issue is kind of like like this, like you can kind of not see Santa in it, which is kind of the point. We're like, oh, it's probably like another fantasy story. But then when you see this issue, like, oh no, like you can kind of see the Santa-isms here, you know, in terms of like the way he like its composition and like what he's wearing and what he's doing. So I agree with that, Demoan.
No, yeah, but anyway, we start this issue. We get some guards talking about the wall. They're discussing Yule time. And one of the guards, apparently it's treasonous to say that they miss the holiday celebration, the toys and everything, because the Baron has made fun no longer allowed.
They legit made fun illegal.
It's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now because fun's illegal, only the wolves sing at night. But luckily they're out past the wall. And then they do that thing where people say that craftsmanship was so good back in the day. Because these walls are apparently really good. They couldn't build walls like these nowadays.
Damn, whatever millennials.
Mm-hmm.
What year was this supposed to be set?
What year is this supposed to be set? The founding of Santa Claus?
Yeah.
I'm honestly not. I'm gonna guess, judging by the sword, 1300s.
Maybe like somewhere like maybe like the Dark Ages. Like
I believe that. Yeah.
1450s. I'm going 1450. 1452. 1452. Final answer.
All right, I'll go look it up to make sure that's correct. What am I looking up? When was Santa?
Wait a minute.
When was Santa invented?
Yeah, 1452.
Okay.
Because 92 was when that motherfucker sailed the ocean blue.
Oh, you.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But I'm sorry. Well, you're looking that up. I'll get back to this. But they're talking more about the wolf. How like wolves just have a yearning for human blood, and once they get more, they'll want even more human blood. And they're just having a conversation, and they're talking about how the wall, like no one can get past it. And then all of a sudden, they see a little flash up on the top of the wall, and they think they see someone getting past it. That's right. There's someone on the wall.
I love that so much. It is like, oh, this wall is so great and impenetrable, but yet someone gets over the wall immediately.
It says here that Santa Claus was first introduced in the 4th century AD in Turkey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Continue. So you were off.
Way off a little bit,
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. By a couple thousand years.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
1,000 years.
Yeah, for sure. No, you got it. Yeah.
But Christian, while Demoan's continuing, can you look up when the Dark Ages was? Because I think that's exactly when this takes place.
Sure.
All right, continue.
But anyway, and it's very important to note that I missed it the last panel. He threw a snowball right before he came in. And he threw it on top of a roof, and the snowball did the thing that snowballs do, where they gather more snow as they roll. And he threw it just so that by the time he got up on top of the wall and started to descend, the snowball would crush the guards, and they would be buried under a pile of snow.
Sick move.
It was
and
a
I
sick
got the
move.
date for you.
Mhm.
400 AT to 1000 AD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's where this takes place.
That's a pretty big time span.
I agree. It was a very dark age.
Was like the sun just not out or something?
Yeah.
Like not. No, I'm kidding.
We didn't invent the sun until 1001 AD.
Ah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true, but I don't know enough to tell you wrong.
Damn right. Gotta love the internet.
Yes, you do. But anyway, our boy is sneaking around the city. And they're on to him because obviously they just got the two guys covered in snow, and now they're talking about a ghost. And they're talking about how someone's out here after curfew, and our boy, I guess, can I call him Kris Kringle too, or do I have to stick with Klaus?
I mean, just say Klaus.
Every synonym for Santa Claus. We'll know.
Okay.
Saint Nicholas, Old Saint Nick, Santa.
Saint Nicholas, got it.
Saint Nicholas, yep.
But anyway, he's like kind of jumping people left and right. People are just trying to figure out where he is. And it all kind of comes to a head when he draws a face on one of the posters of the Baron and just leaves a guard there unconscious. And that's when they decide that they're just going to lock the gates and try to deal with this a different way.
Yeah, he draws a face, and then he draws like the runic symbol for joy underneath it.
Yeah. Which is a P.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who knew?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
But anyway,
pushing P.
Yeah. We come to the next morning. We see one of the miners. He's waking up, and his wife is in a tizzy. Because even though the work bell didn't ring yet, something big is happening. And so she gets her husband out of bed, and he comes through, and he sees these children loaded with illegal toys.
Do I smell joy in this household?
Damn right you smell joy. And has to put an end to it right now.
The belt, and it's just like, do I see
these kids having fun?
The Baron says, no laughter. What are you doing?
Nigga, did I just catch you having fun?
That's a Boondocks reference for the kids at home.
But yeah, I just like how his wife is just like, honey, the kids are having fun. We gotta stop them.
Yeah, no, seriously. And then the mom comes and starts confiscating all the toys because they're not allowed to have them. They're gonna get in trouble. But unfortunately, this boy throws a bird, and it just kind of flies out into the street, and it gets it goes somewhere. Well, it goes into the street. But the guards are walking around town. They're trying to wash off the painting of the Baron that was cleaned or vandalized. But the Baron tells them that's evidence. You can't just get rid of clues like that, man. And then he hits one of them.
I just want to say you brushed up something like once he we see the toy fly away, it's revealed that like no all their neighbors also got toys and stuff too outside their doors. So
yes,
it's not just them.
Yes, yes, everyone got toys outside the door. Oh, everyone with children, I assume.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're talking about how, it was probably an inside job. No one could have scaled the walls unseen unless they could fly. And then our boy catches the little bird that was just thrown out of the sky. And he says, explain this. Where do these toys come from? And not a single guard saw what happened. This is a joke. Yeah. And they're not happy with it, but we pan to this scene of all these children joyously laughing and playing. And then we pan again to Jonas looking down at these children laughing and playing and saying it's not fair. Someone's having fun and I'm not. And I don't think that's the takeaway we should be having our children have.
Poor incel Jonas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If only Reddit was invented by then. You have an opportunity to thrive, but now he must suffer.
You know what? I don't know exactly what you mean by what you just said, but I'm going to gloss over it.
Cool. I'm saying that he's an incel, and then they thrive on Reddit. I feel like I was pretty clear on that.
No, but I just didn't know if you were saying it would be a good thing that he's going to thrive on Reddit or a bad thing.
That's for the viewers at home to decide. Put in the comments down below.
Is Jonas an incel? Does he use Reddit?
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, we scan back, and they're confiscating the toys because Jonas is just sick, guys, and he's so lonely in that tower, and he needs these children's toys to play with. Otherwise, he will die.
I love this so much because I'm like, what a load of shit, and these people fall for it. Like
really paints it like it's their bad that they're starving, depressed children are having fun in his.
No, it's absolutely crazy because this woman's like, hey, why are you taking our children's toys? We give them toys at Yuletime. And then can you imagine if your boss just told you, hey, Christmas is canceled this year? Until you meet your quota, no Christmas.
I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's telling them that they can't do anything until the quotas are reached and the king has his feast. And obviously, like I said, his son is sick and he can't leave the castle, so he needs these toys from the children of Grimsiv. And then he guilt trips this literal widow into giving up the toy for her own child to this rich the little shitbag.
Yeah,
incel.
Jonas, yeah,
Jonas.
Mm-hmm. But Jonas is very happy the toys are all coming to him. And his dad is very upset that someone is not following the rules of society and is giving out toys when he said not to. Mm-hmm. But anyway, then this is the really important part, I think, of this issue. He asked if anyone knew who did it, and this little girl comes up and said it's the Yuletime spirit, and I think that's very important for the myth of Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but anyway,
straight up called that girl a dumbass.
She really did.
He was like, "You shut up! Like you dunce! Like go in the corner and put that hat on and think about what you've done. Think about what you said.
Give me your goddamn toys."
That's true. That's true. Well, don't give Jonas your toys because he will break them like he's doing right now. I'm looking at this bag of toys. I don't see a single fixed toy, and I don't know how Jonas has managed to break all of them so quickly.
Yeah, he has a rep to uphold, Demoan. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, his father told him the toys would be fun, and his dad lied. The toys were bad. None of them work, apparently, and I don't know how he thinks these toys don't work. I'm just very confused by how Jonas got to the point he was.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think they actually explained it. Like the toys were specifically made for specific kids, and that's the only time that the Christmas magic is in them. So when they took them away from the kids, they don't work anymore.
Oh, you see, I didn't catch that. That's a good one.
I mean, they explained it in the next issue, but yeah, no, that's kind of what it's implied to be like.
Okay.
Like the kids are the reason why the toys like when when you're playing with action figures as a kid, like kind of bring them to life, but like because they're happy with their toys, because of their joy actually brings these toys actually to life, metaphorically and kind of literally. So like it's interesting that way.
Okay. But anyway, now our boy Jonas is really mad because the toys aren't working. But I don't know if you guys remember this bird that got thrown before, and now Jonas is smashing, but his mom picks it up, and it looks a little familiar. So she goes and sneaks off, and she opens this little hidden box, and she reveals a blue bird of the same style. And it looks like a prized possession for her. Mm-hmm.
Something of significance.
Yes. Something that she kept secret, hidden away for some
It's very important to her. It's her Yuletide toy. But we'll get back to that. Anyway, we're back on the wall. They're trying to find our boy Klaus. They found his rope, so he's not getting out that way. And they also found Olaf. Olaf is gonna eat him alive.
And to clarify, the big guy is Olaf.
Yes.
Yes.
And Olaf's gonna eat him alive.
Mikey, do we have a picture of Olaf?
I do not. No, not yet. Not yet.
No large pictures of Olaf? Okay. Yeah. I get it. But anyway, they're obviously going to search for our boy Klaus. Olaf's coming down the stairs. All of a sudden, he gets sucker punched. But most people, when they get sucker punched, kind of like fall and stuff. Olaf did not, and he just kind of hit Klaus back. And
Klaus is pulling an Assassin's Creed, is taking people out in the darkness, which I like. I was like, damn, son.
Yeah, and then he tried to do the same thing to Klaus, and it did not work. And he's gonna be a ghost soon, according to Olaf. Of course, Olaf, our boy Klaus. I'm getting their names so mixed up.
Take your time, man. You're really struggling with it.
Yeah, I don't. Their names aren't even close. I don't know why.
Just call Santa Santa.
You're right, Santa. It's Santa and Olaf.
Yeah.
Like
if you said Santa and Klaus, I'd be so upset at you.
You know what? It's But anyway, he has a rope tied around Olaf's foot, pulls him, and then kind of buries him in snow. And then this one I think is funny because he makes Olaf a snowman, just like Olaf from the Disney movie with the princess about the ice powers.
Oh, Inside Out, yeah.
Frozen, but close.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. And they beat Olaf. Klaus beat Olaf, one of our finest men. Olaf the unbeatable, but the Barons never heard of him.
Yeah, I saw this page and I was like, this is what I mean. I was kind of sold on this book already, but this is what like kind of sold it for me. Where it's like this man made him a fucking snowman for why? Like it just like what on earth? It's so funny.
Klaus is a little troll.
Yeah, he's kind of a jokester. This guy.
He's a little jokester.
He's full of merry and mirth. I love him.
Merry and mirth. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, our boy Klaus left his, I guess, satchel or sack of presents. Well, empty, no longer presents. And he has to they're getting the dogs on his tail, essentially. And they pull out these ravenous dogs, and they just kind of send them loose. They have them sniff the cape, and they go running. And that's where we end our issue, with the dogs catching up to Klaus.
Gotcha.
But I don't think they're going to catch him, but we'll figure that out.
We'll see. Christian,
say plot armor?
So we got a comment. Someone's like, hey, yo, give a recap of what has led to this, like 2 minutes. So who wants to do it?
I got you. Santa Claus origin story, right? Oh, what's up, kids? Santa Claus origin story. He's a Giga Chad, and this guy, the Baron, he's all bah-humbug. Fuck this joy. I don't want any of that shit in my village. And then Klaus was like, fuck that. I'm going to spread toys and merriment all around town. And then the Baron's like, what the fuck, dude? Don't do that. Let's go kill Santa. And that's where we're at right now.
Well, they don't know they're killing Santa yet, I don't think.
They don't know they're killing Santa yet. They think they're killing, like, just
the Yuletime semantics.
Yeah, the Yuletime spirit.
Who gives a shit? Fucking, he is Santa. We know that. The book tells it. But that's the synopsis.
Okay. That was pretty good. But yeah, this issue's cool, dude. It's so fun. We fucking see Klaus's skills coming to life. Oh wait, he has another comment. It says, yeah, they are hunting a man who happens to be Santa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't yes, that is yes.
Yeah.
He's Santa. Yeah.
Like I mean, does he happen to be Santa? Yes. But also,
is he Santa? Not yet.
The fuck is this semantics bullshit? What the fuck? Technically, he's not Santa until page 76 on this comic book, so he can't say that he's Santa yet. But dude, he's fucking Santa, you guys. He's Santa. Also, an interesting note, his character is a lot like The Witcher.
Yeah. It's a lot like
It's
Santa.
like if Santa met
It's
the
all
Witcher.
jacked and really badass and super sneaky like.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say, or just like I love we can see more of Klaus's skills in this. The fact that he's like, taking people out like an assassin is dope. More of the lore and the backstory of like of Grimsvig, and like how the Baron treats his citizens and manipulates them into making his own son happy and not them. It's fucked up. But yeah, no, I think it's really fun. The fact that like Klaus is kind of sending a message to like get people to rise up, a little bit, to like spread that joy as a Santa does. Is really cool.
It's later on into the issue.
Ah, yes, Santa Claus, the face of all rebellions everywhere.
Exactly. This Santa Claus is a freedom fighter. He lets people rise against their oppressors.
Rise up.
But yeah, no, I think it's really cool, and just like I think the world building and then in this mystery of like Jonas's mom may have a connection to Klaus due to that exact same bird toy is an interesting plot to go off of. But yeah, I'm liking this issue a lot. It's really fun. It's really fun and really cool stuff. It's like, yeah, are they hunting him because he is Santa? Yes.
Because he's bringing joy to
not like again like they don't refer to him as Santa, but yeah, because he's bringing joy to this town that's like which outlaws like joy and like Christmas time and like fun. So yeah. But yeah, anyone else has to say on issue 2 before we move on to 3?
Not really.
Nah, just good stuff. Just overall good stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll move on to issue 3 then. So issue 3 of Klaus. Really like this cover actually.
This is badass. It's like it's like the cover of Doom.
It actually is. It kind of is actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this cover is really cool. Oh, yeah, it's my turn, right? Yeah, I'm doing issue 3.
Yes, sir.
But also, what I want to put out almost immediately is do I see is that a 3 of 7 right there?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
On the title?
Yes.
Yeah, last time it was 2 of 6.
Yeah,
so apparently this is where we decide to add the extra issue.
Grant Morrison.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is,
Yeah. He's improving that shit.
Maybe,
he had another acid trip, and he's like, dude, I figured out the
maybe
end.
Grant Morrison was on acid, and they just didn't realize that they like had to make it 7 issues.
Numbers are
honestly
hard.
Good for him.
Yeah,
good for them, Demoan. Good for them.
If you're coming, did I not say them?
No, you did him.
Oh,
that's my bad.
You probably didn't know.
I thought I said them.
But
Dan Mora.
Yeah, actually, let me Dan Mora, bro, kills it. We got a comment. Because of Santa-like behavior, yes. Because of Santa-like behavior, yep. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is a really cool cover, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's dope. It's good stuff. It's very badass. But yeah, so basically to start this off is we get to see the aftermath of the dog's been released. Yeah, he clearly just runs away, like he should, because that's the logical thing to do. So he's running away, and he realizes he's reached a dead end, and so like he's like, okay, I'm about to like sucker punch all of these wolves, I guess. But nah, guess what? Guess who comes in handy and saves the day here? His wolfie, Lily, his wolf. She's what's up?
Are you behind on the slides?
No, I didn't put these pages there. I didn't put them in there. So but Lily, his wolf, shows up, and as a good girl, she somehow snuck her way in. He doesn't realize how she did it, but she did. And yeah, like because of she's a big ass wolf and they're just tiny dogs, she asserts her dominance, and yeah, she kind of scares all the dogs away. I think it's very cute. It's a very cute moment, and I love like how their friendship, their like companionship is really cool in this.
I really like this page because just look how cute her face is. Just like this little yes.
Yeah, she from the top panel to like the middle panel. It goes from
exactly
to cute.
Yeah, aggressive to
yeah. It's so nice. But yeah, so yeah, like she scares the dogs away, and just like now he has to figure out like his next move. And then all the dogs go back to the guards, all scared to hell. They're just like, "What is this?" And they're just like, "Oh my god, it's the Yuletime spirit. I heard a wolf. It's his powers." Because I love how, like, throughout this book, yeah, like they don't really know how to interpret what's going on in terms of like how they can't find him and like how they can't find this person. So they say, yeah, he's a spirit, or he's like, and they hear wolf sounds. Oh wait, he's a werewolf. He's a wolf man. So like, I just love how like there are different interpretations of like who essentially like Klaus Santa Claus is, and I think that's really cool. But yeah, so they're basically just like, we like this wolf man, he's a wolf man, like, he's very fierce, that's how he scared the dogs away. And like the reason why we can't find him is because he's the old time spirit, he's a ghost. So like they're basically gonna have to, have a full-on search to be like, oh, like, where, like trying to figure out like where he is. And it's revealed, they're like, oh yeah, the reason why they don't know where he is because they're stupid and they can't look up because he's on the rooftops. Like it's really cool. It's a really cool shot. But yeah, he's on the rooftops just watching them. And they're just like, and I love how Harold, General Harold is like, a wolf man. A vanishing wolf. A ghost wolf, no less. Like they're just making up shit for him. I think it's really cool. But yeah, they basically have to figure out, like, like they think it's pretty much impossible. The fact that like, yeah, it's like he were able to go over the castle walls and capacitate all the guards, and then add and then put toys into every person's home like under our nose and we didn't notice. Like this is practically impossible. But yeah, they're just gonna patrol further and just be more on the lookout. And yeah, we get an amazing page of just again more Assassin's Creed shit. This is just like this is him synchronizing. This is him synchronizing on top of the viewpoint.
Yeah, it's him just ready to do, what is it called? Like
the leap of faith, bro.
Yeah, the leap of faith.
All we hear is he's like but yeah, you get this really cool page of him just like on the rooftop, and he's trying to also figure out, like, and it's like how is he gonna deliver all these toys, more of these toys, like, while the guards are on patrol, and it's him looking at the chimneys, and it's just like, Grant Morrison, I see what you're doing. But yeah, I like the little nod there. So it cuts back to these
the little
miners.
Nod?
Huh?
To Santa.
The nod?
Yeah,
to Santa.
It's a nod to Santa.
Yeah.
The real human being.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just nod just feels like nod just feels like a weird word to choose. I don't know why.
I agree.
A nice little final reference, like the fuck, like I don't
know. I don't know what the right word is. It just feels like nod is a strange one to use
as a nod to Santa.
It's a nod to Santa. It's implying Santa. I don't know. Reference to Santa. Like fucking pick a word. I don't know. But yeah, moving on, we goes back to the miners, and we really see how Magnus is treating his workers. They're tired. They're kind of like emaciated because they're so hungry and they haven't stopped working. And they're kind of also losing their minds. And we get this page of one of these the miners talking about how they're hearing a voice on the other side, and they're kind of like losing, and it's kind of making them crazy. But the guards basically like, nah, like shut up, like like get back to work. And then like I like how one of them is like say like no one needs this much coal, like this makes no sense why like they're mining a bunch of this coal, and like when clearly they have more than enough. And he's like, oh, like calling his name over and over again. I can't do this. Like they're going nuts. And then we see another page of on the other bottom panel, like more of these workers are being shuffled in. All of them are sad, depressed, all that stuff. Then we get back to that family that received the first set of toys. Their father, the father comes in, basically just like from a long day's work, looks exhausted and is like he wants to just die. But they're talking about how like we're trying to give wishes to the Yuletime spirit, and and they also refer to him as the Jerlanese. I don't know how you pronounce that. The Jerlanese, and also refer to him as the Santa. And basically just trying to like get some nice Yuletime cheer, and and they asked her dad to make a wish, and he's just void. He just doesn't want to deal with this shit. Transitions to the I was gonna say that, not the Baron. The Lord. What's the female version of? Oh, the lady. The lady of Grimvog. Looking out in the distance. Trying to figure out what's going on in terms of like why is there a similar toy that why are the toys being made that were given similar to one that she received in that little box. And basically she gets caught by Magnus and is like, oh, like, where'd you get that toy? And he's like, oh, like, I found it, I picked it up from the Mastermind's toys you gave Jonas and all that. And then basically he's just like, may I have a closer look? And he's like looking at like it like, like, this toy is pretty exquisitely designed. Like, it's capable of flight, and it could be a way to like deliver poisons. Like, these aren't toys. These are weapons. This man's a walking like weapon of mass destruction. You're making all these toys and all that stuff. And then she's like, "Don't be ridiculous." But he like crushes the bird and is like like
in
these
his
are
bare hands.
with his bare
That's
hands.
wood. That's so impressive.
He's like these are weapons. These are signs. These are symbols of revolt. Like, we can't have that in our kingdom. Like, we gotta make sure that we can stop this man. And we also have a comment here saying, is there any way to make the comment bigger? No, there is not. Because we're trying not to.
This has been the format, man, and it's gonna stay like that for years.
It's gonna stay like that.
No improvements.
Because if we put it up closer, we could get in trouble. So let's not do that. But yeah, so that's that. And yeah, I lost my page for a second. But yeah, basically it's like, okay, we gotta stop him, revolts, all that stuff. Joy's not good. Then we transitions to Klaus, making his mushroom tea, his mushroom stew, and is like, hey, like, it's great that we got out of there. And we gotta basically like talk to the Shining family, because it's not nice the fact that like there's no joy in Grimsvog and Grimsvig. Like, like what the Magnus is doing is a crime. So he's going into the spirit realm to get more answers. Trips on more acid with his loot. And again, beautiful colors here with the artwork. Especially shout out to Jordi Belair, who's the colorist on this. Kills it with the colors in this. It's beautiful. And I love the fact that like, is it implied that like Lily can also kind of like not see them but like sense them?
Yeah, she actually helps with summoning them with the song.
Yeah, I was about to say, but people always say that animals can like really see weird things like that whenever they have like these kind of like vision quests for people.
Yeah.
So I feel like especially Santa's wolf can see Santa stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just true. It's pretty true. I got another comment here. It's just drawing. Okay.
Art. They do be arting though.
Yeah, drawing. Yeah, they be drawing. It's dope. But yeah, so it transitions to Magnus going into this it looks like this library. He's just going down this cavern. It seems like this library. It opens like a little latch. Goes through it. Another page of like the miners and stuff. Talking about like literally they're going mad, talking about like, oh, like I won't do it anymore. Like, I'm tired of hearing the voices. And it's like it's like, clear the cold face. The Baron's here. So the Baron, I guess, is like the library has a hidden door to the mines. They split apart. He goes through it. He ends up in this like very dark like cavern of like obsidian like rock. And basically he's talking about like like he's talking to like looking up. He's like, I wrote this book, and it's like, I've done everything that you asked. Like, I remade Grimsvig in your image. Like, you promised me, if I finished all your demands, I would be, you would like give me like unlimited power and all that. So like he's talking to this mysterious thing. And the wall kind of like cracks up a bit in front of him, and he's like, he's like, what? Nah, like, they're not gonna rebel. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we have everything under control. And it's like, but thing is like, what you're asking me to do, they're gonna rip me apart if I ask that. Like, it's like, yeah, and like this thing is talking to him, this wall, and it's like, oh, and this like a weird language, like, oh, don't worry, the Santa's being taken care of, all that, and it's like, it's like. But the thing is like, listen, you work for me. Don't forget who's in charge here. I just want to let you know that. It's like, these men aren't. He's like, he's like, just don't ever forget who's in charge here and try to keep it quiet, will you? these men aren't superstitious fools. So like he's trying to keep everything here under wraps. It throws back to this church where this preacher is giving a sermon, and we hear the bell ring. One of these the bell rings, and people are like freaking out. They're like, because that bell hasn't been rung in like a very long time. They go outside, and like I love how the father is like, the priest is like, hey, like no rejoicing in public is against the law. It's just like, damn. Then they walk out, and we see outside of carved in snow is the runic symbol for joy. And it's, guess what? It's our boy Klaus doing what Klaus does. And he's just, he rung the bell, and he's like kind of like he's ziplining across into the church, and comes across this dead tree. And he's basically kind of being like, hey, like, remember me? Like, I used to cut like wood from your branches a long time ago. And he's like, like, I made a symbol. It's like basically talking to the tree, because like his tree has some significance to him. And then the Baron comes out and is like, oh, like, like no decorate. It's like, oh, talking about like, oh, no decorating or no decoration of trees, no Yule logs, no ghosts, no Yuletime spirits. And he's like, like, it's like one of you did this. Like he's trying to figure out who did this commotion. And then a burning tree falls onto the ground. Falls onto the ground, and he just like, he sees it, and he's like, this is an act of war. And then Dagmar, who is his wife, the lady of Grimvog, it gets basically acquainted by Klaus. He's like, listen, hey Dagmar, it's been a long time. And that's how issue 3 ends. So thoughts on issue 3?
Certainly the third issue.
Yeah, certainly the third issue. Out of the 3 issues, this is probably the most third, I'd probably describe it.
Yeah. The most what? Sorry?
It's most third.
The most third?
Yeah,
okay,
it's most third.
Okay.
Out of the 3, yeah.
Fair enough. Well,
I don't think there's much to say, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
This one felt like a lot of setup for what's coming later.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I thought it was cool. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like Demoan says, it's set up to what's to come in terms of like, the seasoning and all that, and it's like, planting the seeds for like this overarching mystery here. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's pretty cool. And shout out to Lily for being one of the best dogs ever. Love her.
Yeah,
so much.
Truly,
yeah,
a real one. Keeps him alive.
Gotcha. No, for real, she does. But yeah, it's like, yeah, dope. We're on the 4th issue. Yeah, we're gonna be on the 4th issue in a bit. But that's pretty much it. I don't really got anything to say. So who wants to move on to issue 4?
That's my issue. I'm issue 4.
Yeah, you're issue 4, Demoan.
Holy shit!
So issue 4 of Klaus, Demoan.
This looks like a classic romantic novel cover.
I was thinking the same thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually what I was going to start off by saying.
My bad. I'm sorry. I love
No. You borrowed my thunder. It's okay.
Okay, cool. It's a transition.
But no, I love this. I love this cover. I love like the gold light that they have going on that glints off his sword. I love like the way like the wind is blowing everything, like the grass, her hair, like the leaves across in the background. It just looks really pretty altogether. And then it also is really fun to have the Baron back there.
Yeah,
in the dark part of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like he's gonna fuck up their happy lives, which he is gonna fuck up their happy lives.
He's looking down on us like, man, look at you trying to fuck my wife. I can let you fuck my wife, Santa.
Well, it looks like from this looks
I
like
saw mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Oh,
but it seems like that they look a little bit like younger here, so it's implied. Yeah, it's gonna be a flashback issue, guys. Ooh, backstory.
Holy shit!
But yeah, it's a backstory issue. This is actually where we learn like the actual like backstory of how Klaus got to being the Klaus that we're seeing in the comic right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we go all the way back, not to his birth, just a short time after. It looks like his mom was trying to trek through like the mountains in the winter, and she froze to death. But somehow a baby was alive. Like she's like stone cold frozen. Like it looks like you could not move her
stone cold.
Try.
Hell yeah, Stone Cold.
Steve Austin.
Just crack open a cold one.
But no, so she's frozen. She's like a statue. But for some reason her little babe is alive and doing well.
They said because of the warmness of the warmth of like the baby's heart. That's why it's still alive. Also, what a terrible way to die! Like Jesus Christ, that's all. It's like damn,
freezing to death.
Freezing to death is probably one of. I feel like that one takes really long too, which makes it extra bad.
No, fun fact: as you freeze into hypothermia, your body goes into shock and feels warm. And people who go into hypothermia are sometimes found butt ass naked because they're trying to cool down.
Oh. I did know about that one, the butt ass naked one, but I didn't know that was such a common symptom as what you were describing. I thought it was one of the more rare ones.
Oh no, yeah. That happens. That's the standard. That's the default.
Ooh, so I'll be really spicy when I freeze to death.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean, the first part's gonna suck, but once you get there, it's gonna be great. You know, fun time.
But anyway, so people were going through the mountains. They found this woman frozen to death. They took her baby because her baby was still alive. They brought it back to their civilization, and they're talking about like how he should have been dead just like his poor mom. But there was music on the wind, and he was spared for a reason, and we don't know why, but we'll figure it out eventually. But they kind of raised this child. They named him Klaus, and that means victory of the people, which I did not know. Is that it? Do either of you know if that's like an actual translation of Klaus, or if that's just something they made up?
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't bother to look it up.
I would not be surprised if they just made it up.
Yeah, Klaus, that's what I'm thinking.
German for Giga Chad.
Holy shit!
That's the ancient translation.
The ancient translation is Giga Chad.
But anyway, we see Klaus. He's just sitting around being a kid, carving wooden birds. And he sees this girl, who is the princess, I assume. And her bird dies, and she's sad because she's gonna miss her bird. So our boy makes her a new bird, and this bird flies to her, and he sings, and they have a really fun relationship after that.
Like what riz this kid has? The fact like, I'm just gonna make you a fucking wooden bird that so happens to fly. Like
it's Santa we're talking about. Fucking Santa, the most riz of the riz. Also, I found out Klaus does in fact mean victory in German. Of the people.
Oh.
Victor of the people.
That's actually really cool. Huh. But anyway, like I said, they have this really cute relationship where they're bonding. She's making him do stuff that's entertaining to her. He's trying to impress her. They build snowmen together. And then we see this Jonas-looking motherfucker, except it's Jonas's dad,
Baron?
believe it or not.
Magnus, yeah.
Yeah, the Baron.
Magnus.
They're both little shits.
Yeah. That's the most like
it runs in the family.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, now we come and we see Klaus is sitting in the window looking at his old flame, and she's like, "Who the fuck are you, and what are you doing in my house? I swear to God, I will kill you. You stay right where you are. I'm calling the guards."
Very understandable.
But anyway, he comes and he's like, "Hey, I heard that the lady Dagmar, she's grown mean, and the people don't like her no more because she's lost touch." And she's like, "Oh yeah, you think that's true?" And he's like, "If you think it's true, I think you'll get the guards going because you want them to catch me. But I don't think you're gonna pull the cord." And she doesn't pull the cord, believe it or not. She wants to be addressed as Milady, though.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important. So she actually finally asks him who he is, which I feel like this is a little late in the conversation for this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's like Christian said, it's a shock experience. So they're not doing things in order all the time.
I don't
But
remember saying
he
that.
comes
But yeah,
in,
I agree
raises
with
his
that.
hand. What do you mean? Did you not say that?
I don't think I did. But yeah, no, I agree.
Continue.
Yeah, continue. Yeah, no, continue.
I'm almost positive those words came out of your mouth.
Okay, buddy.
Damn.
Continue.
You're making me think I go
Are you
crazy.
okay? Are you okay?
Demoan.
Maybe not.
Right. Take a minute.
Did you just try? Did the
Okay.
acid just kick in?
No.
Demoan? I'm not even
Don't
here.
worry.
I'm just a figment of your imagination. The car accident wasn't your
Fuck,
fault.
I've been doing this podcast by myself.
You've been
Yeah, you did
this
it
is not
again.
even
Boy.
You're not even talking on a computer. It's just a brick wall.
Demoan, why won't you let us die?
No,
Why
don't
are
do
you
that,
dressed up
please.
as Santa? It's not even Christmas, man.
Oh man.
It's the middle of July.
All right.
Okay, I'm not that bad. Don't
Okay.
dig your heels in
Alright.
that deep.
All right, continue.
But anyway, she's asking, like, who are you? And he's like, I'm a friend. I'm a Yuletime spirit. And I got this little bird for you because someone broke your other bird. And that's where he reveals that it's Klaus. And Dagmar is like, you should be happy to see me. But Dagmar slaps him because she accused him of killing her father. Do you think Santa Claus has it in him to kill her father, guys?
Is Santa Claus
Yes.
a murderer?
Yes. Yes.
First of all, I think
Look
those
at
are
those
two different
muscles.
questions, Mikey. Santa Claus is in fact a murderer, but do you think he had it in her to kill her
Murdered
father?
Multiple things. Multiple living creatures.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? It's like, nah, bottom Santa is fraudulent. Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's good.
but
All
anyway, it seems like Klaus has grown up. So we're flashing back again, and it seems like Klaus has grown up to be like a guard captain of Grimsvig, and he was handpicked by Dagmar's dad,
the king.
the
king,
Baron. Calm
the
down,
Baron,
the
yeah.
Baron.
Oh,
The king
shit.
is someone different because they are bringing the king into town later.
Yeah.
Oh shit. This whole family's confusing.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, the Baron is old and sick, and honestly, I don't know how no one's put together that Magnus is poisoning the king, because this looks like the most obvious glass of poison I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Klaus, the story is Klaus wasn't even there. Magnus was the only one giving him the king medicine, the Baron medicine.
Right?
And then the reason why it's Klaus's fault is because he's the only one that knows how to brew poison. Like that's like, yeah, it has to be him.
Like Magnus isn't capable of, like, I don't know, reading a book and figuring it out himself.
Yeah, but everyone's like, oh yeah, fuck Klaus. I think everyone just didn't like Klaus just from the get-go. Like,
He's the Naruto of the story.
It's because he was. It was because he was adopted, brought in.
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
he was an outsider to them.
Yeah, and because he was the host of the Nine Tails, he was a Nine Tails Jinchuriki. So
Santa's the Hokage. Whoa! I missed that episode of Naruto.
That was actually the first one. So did you even watch the series?
Oh, you mean Baruto's dad?
Fake fan.
Oh, you're sure. You're right. Not bad.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, now we're seeing they caught a bunch of wolves in a pit, and I think they're gonna stab them to death. But they missed a wolf. And that's our little girl Lily, and our boy Klaus gives him some food and sends her away.
It's so cute. So cute. So
Lily is good.
I love the fact that, like, that's how, like, Lily and him have a close bond, because he practically, like, raised her as when she was like a cub, like a wolf cub. It's nice.
The only human she probably trusts, and the only human she should definitely trust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, we're cutting back, and we're seeing obviously our boy Klaus is saying, I had nothing to do with the Baron's death. I could not look you in the eye and tell you I'm innocent if I did. But apparently Magnus had proof.
And the proof was he knows how to make poison. Ergo, he's the one who
What who
poisoned
did it?
Also, this is my
Oh.
absolute favorite because Klaus is right. He asked her, "Why would I put myself in danger by coming
Yeah.
back if I was guilty?"
Like he didn't fight for himself at all. Klaus was like, "Oh man, I'm being blamed for this. Oh well."
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
regret this in like 30 years.
Yeah.
And also this, from the scene that they're pointing out, it seems like Magnus just had a bag of toxic poisons and stuff, and then dropped it on the floor and just said it was Klaus's.
It was Klaus's.
His
It's
fault.
because
He did
clearly-
it.
It even says Magnus on the sack, but like, he just immediately point towards it.
Magnus just has that much charisma, so much so that even convinced Klaus. It's like, shit, maybe I did poison.
No, he
the
stitched
king.
it on last minute.
But in fairness, if Klaus has been having these vivid hallucinations with these spirits where he apparently passes out and makes toys, I think you might be able to convince him that he accidentally poisoned somebody.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair. It's gotta time.
I don't think that's what happened here, but I think you could convince him.
Definitely not. He's just that stupid. He's just like, shit. If someone needs to take the blame, I'll take it. Because he's that much of a nice guy. Klaus is that much of a nice guy.
Okay.
Oh,
Finish
God.
it off, my guy.
But anyway, so he didn't put up a fight because he was having a hissy fit about a girl. She chose another guy over him. And she said she only chose another guy over him because they said that he was killed by wolves. But in reality, he was saved by Lily. And this is one of my favorite pictures. I'm not, Mikey, did you get, I want to see.
Which one?
Oh, gosh. Yes, this is exactly it. In this bottom right hand corner, with Lily laying on top of him to keep him warm. I think that's one of the most precious things.
Like, it's so
and
cute.
Also,
like, it's more of that shit where it's just like, yeah, like you see in the top panel, it's like very dark and just like his glowing red eyes to show like, oh, he's about to fucking die. But then like, oh no, it's just Lily. She licks him and recognizes that it's him, and then just covers him. It's so cute.
Real homie shit right there.
Exactly.
Yes. But anyway, so I guess Dagmar is now coming around to the fact that her old boo may in fact be innocent. And she says, okay, if we do this, you know that Magnus will have people hunting us. Because Magnus is bad. But Klaus is saying he has the spirits watching over him, so he doesn't die easy. And then he hands her a toy, and it looks... I really like this toy he hands her, because it's like this little four-armed action figure dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not of this century. It's definitely Star Wars inspired. And Star Wars.
It feels...
they clearly had Star Wars in the Dark Ages. What are you talking about?
It feels weirdly Gundam-esque to me, and I don't know why.
Oh, that makes sense. Jonas is a weeb. That's why he didn't like all the toys. He needed an anime figure.
And now he's getting one. Because this toy is for Jonas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, she gets the toy, and then he dips because he doesn't need a thank you. He's just here to give toys to children. But anyway, now we come into Jonas, and Jonas is apparently using a mallet to smash the toys. Nothing else, just a mallet.
Because apparently there's no magic in any of them. I mean, all he wants to do is just see magic.
Yeah, and all these toys are useless like the rest. And he says these toys are pathetic. He doesn't believe they were ever alive, even though they were. We all know they were because, well, that's just how that works.
Yeah,
it's
magic.
true. I saw it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now she comes in with a toy made specifically for him, a little bug guy. We don't know exactly what it's supposed to be, but his mom's like, it could be anything. Could be a scarecrow, but he's free to do with as you please. And immediately, he pretends to be a giant and try to throw the toy and smash it. And his mom's like, hey, maybe we could play with toys more than once and not break them every time.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we could not be a little shit today. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, hey, I guess you could destroy your toy, but then you won't have a toy and you'll be bored again. And he's like, well, if I don't destroy the toy, how will I know when I'm done playing? And then he has to ask if they're playing or something. And then his mom brings out the bird she just got, and she's like, oh, the bird's a ferocious dragon living across a mountaintop. And they have this little game where they play, and the bug man rides the dragon. It's really cute. But then, of course, their dad comes, and he's upset that his mom is bonding with her son. Because how dare a mother bond with her child?
Yeah, it's a very cute moment. Like, you literally see, like, even in the artwork, like, he just lightens up and just, like, changes a little bit once he realizes, like, oh, yeah, like, I don't need to destroy my toy. Like, I'm having fun. Because, again, like what we said earlier, like, yeah, like, he just didn't like any other toys because his toys that he got that he got from the other children weren't made for him. So he just needed the right toy, you know, and the right influence. So, yeah.
But yes, anyway, our boy, the Baron, Magnus, bursts through the door, and he's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? We got literal wolves at the door. There's disease running around, a revolutionary spirit giving children toys, and the king's coming in 2 days, and we're out here playing with toys? What the fuck? Do work.
That's a valid point.
Work, bitch.
Yeah.
He comes in and he's like, you know what, son? It's time for you to be a man. And we'll see what that means in a minute. But anyway, the men of Grimsig working in the mine, they're like, hey, can we just have like 1 day off to spend the holidays with our wife and children? And they're like, either you die or you work, and that's your choice.
Yeah. Yep.
It's either you die or you work to death. Those are the only two choices.
It's literally just like, either you die or you die. There's no way out of this.
Oh gosh. But anyway, they just kind of slaughter a few people that are trying to make an example.
Yeah, because they're trying to start a revolution.
Well, no. They're trying to stop a revolution.
Yeah, no, because I'm saying like they killed him because they tried to start one. That's
okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I misheard. But anyway, they think they killed what they thought were the ringleaders. And they're like, hey, anyone else want to rebel? Well, if you don't want to rebel, get back to work. There's fucking quotas to fill. And they're saying, ignore. My favorite part is ignore the voice and get back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's apparent like it's a common thing down there. So like, you know.
And this is the first instance of us actually being able to understand what the voice is saying, right? When it says free me, free me, free me. Because before this it was all Krampus language.
Yeah, exactly. And also we see like Harold just like shocked as shit of like, you know, they just slaughtered innocent people for no reason.
They just wanted a day off with their families, but nah, not anymore.
So death for you. That's the greatest gift we can. That's the greatest gift we can give you for your old time. Death.
Yeah. And now Harold's just a little sad. He doesn't know what's happening, but he comes home and he sees Klaus, and Klaus is claiming he came down the chimney. Love
it.
But he's like, he knows the guard captain's name. He knows Carl's name. And he's like, hey, just put away your sword and listen to me. And he's like, hey, 35 years back, you've gone through some changes, and he just wants to know what happened here. And that's when Carl reveals that after Ulrich died, Grimsveg fell into a deep darkness. Magnus grew stronger and more tyrannical. And Carl held his tongue and deceived himself that he could change things from the inside. Much to everyone's surprise, he couldn't change anything from the inside.
Yeah,
no shit.
I don't think he did a good job on that.
No, he did not. He lived long enough to see himself become the villain, and he was not happy with it. But at the very least, he's ashamed of what he's doing. That the red and white uniform that he wears used to mean something, and now it just means death.
Yeah.
And Klaus is like, don't worry, Carl. The red and white is going to mean something again soon. I'm throwing a Yuletime party. Get the band back together. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Yeah. And now this is Jonas being a man. He's writing a letter to Santa.
As men do.
As men do. So Jonas has to write this letter to Santa because it has to be written in the hand of a child. Because they're trying to trap Santa.
Yeah.
Magnus's gift that he wants for Christmas is Santa served on a silver platter. And that's the end of my issue.
All right. So
unless we want to go into this, I guess advertisement at the end for the Power Rangers.
I'm good. So
no, you're good,
bro. No.
This one has the Green Ranger on it, though.
Listen, man, I understand that, but you took a little minute there, so we gotta get moving. But yeah, it's just no, this issue is really cool. I love the backstory of Klaus, and just like very, very, very dark fantasy-esque. You know, it's really cool. Yeah, so like the origin of Klaus is really interesting. We really address, but yeah, the logic about how he got framed for the king's death, for the king's murder, is just so stupid. But listen, it's a Christmas story, so who gives a shit? Like,
oh my God, Klaus, did you kill my father? Man, I don't know. I mean, the evidence kind of. I am the only one who knows how to make poisons here.
Yeah, so it could have been me. Who knows?
No one.
I mean, it depends. How you feeling about the Baron over there?
But yeah, I do like the backstory and how, like, you know, just like the Baron had beef with Klaus from day one because he was different. Real. And he was impressing his girl. But yeah, I do love the fact that, like, yeah, the moment that like Dragmar and Klaus meet, she immediately is like, "You fucking killed my dad." That was like so out of nowhere. So yeah, like another interesting twist with the character. Like, oh, like, did he kill her father? Did he not? Who knows? Yeah, I think it's really fun. And also just like, yeah, Jonas not being a little shit and actually like learning how to like actually be a child is like through Dragmar is actually like interacting with him for once is like really touching and very sweet. And like the toy is so cool. The fact that like, yeah, like he just needed the right toy to make him happy, not just everyone else's toys, you know?
It's true.
And then
also maybe a parent to play with him, show him how it's done. Because it doesn't seem like either of his parents were very attentive until now. I'm not gonna lie.
Not really, no. But also they kind of play in a way like they also introduce the fact like, yeah, like how big and important like a child's imagination is to like when they're playing with their toys. I think, you know, and like how important that is to a kid. It makes sense. I thought that was really touching and very nice. But yeah, nah. And I love again, it's more seasoning, you know, freaking Klaus trying to make a revolution happen, people trying to rise, make people rise up and shit. Good
Fight
stuff.
The power.
Exactly.
Hashtag rise up.
Hashtag rise up. But yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. I thought it was really cool and really fun and very interesting in terms of, you know, some of the things that they like explored here. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Chris, you got anything to say?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. All right.
No, sir.
Right, so
I also like this issue. I think it was one of the denser ones.
Oh yeah.
I think that's mostly because it was doing so much jumping around, like the flashbacks and everything, though.
Yeah, that's true. It didn't make it a little bit jarring, but I mean, it still was pretty fun and interesting to learn about.
I very much liked it.
But yeah, and that's everything else then. Oh, comment. This comic was awesome. Good night, homies. Good night, Christian. Thank you for reading it. Thank you for watching with us. We appreciate that, man.
Good night, Chris.
You made the nice list this year.
You did. You did. You did. You will not get cold.
You're gonna wake up to whatever gifts you want. You're gonna wake up to a mushroom underneath your bed.
Gotcha.
Oh no, no! I don't think that's healthy.
No, he likes mushrooms.
I don't think they should be growing underneath. You know what? Never mind. No, let's keep going. No, let's keep going. Let's keep going. That's my fault. That's my fault. I shouldn't have brought it up.
But yeah, cool cover. I love that. Like, and Mora does a really good job with like the creature design here. Like, I love that little that creature like coming out of the darkness with Klaus, you know, looking like a badass. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I don't know what your quick thoughts on this cover.
I like how it looks like Krampus, and I'm gonna say it's Krampus.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing you can do to tell me except tell me this isn't Krampus to convince me this isn't Krampus.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they will have to write in the comic, "Hey, this isn't Krampus," and that's the only way I would believe them.
It's true.
Because look at them. That's a Krampus. It's got the horns. It's stealing children into a bag. It's
it also has the chains as well, which is like the chains on the wrist, which is like a signifier to Krampus. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. He has those chains on his wrist, like the broken chains.
He comes and collects all the naughty children.
Exactly. But yeah, just to get right into it, so we have Dragma and Jonas, because I'm calling him by his name now because he's not a little shit anymore. Because he knows the spirit of loving and joy. But yeah, like, you know, he asked him like, oh, like he showed you the face of a monster, and like trying to figure out like what Jonas did with his dad, and like, you know, oh, like is there a book or something that he told you to write in, like with the face of a monster? And so they're going through a library, and he's like, you know, like we made up a story, like, you know, to try to like, you know, trick the Yuletime spirit. And then the thing is, like, at the same time you have Magnus talking to that wall again, and he's like, oh, like, no, this can't be true. And he's like, oh, he's like begging for his life. He's like, you know, I'll do anything you say, like, you know, not much longer. And then, you know, Dragmar's like, hey, like, show me this book. And then you just see freaking Magnus come in. He's like, oh, like, what's the game? It's like, what's the game this time? And basically, like, you know, it's like, oh, y'all niggas in here having fun, and just like burst through the door, and in full on wife beater mode. Is like, yo, I'm about to stab you in the fucking chest if you don't, like, you know, tell me what's going on. Like, and also like the fact that I need to talk to Jonas.
I also absolutely love how big this sword is for him.
Yeah, and he's struggling to lift it.
Man can't lift it.
I mean, like I feel like it's implied that like he couldn't lift it before, but like I guess like it's implied like he did something that came to make him a little bit stronger, because like he literally is like lifting it up easier and easier the more, like, you know, he's ranting to his wife. So, but yeah,
I think it's confirmed that Krampus literally didn't do anything to give him power. Yeah, so I think he's just like
he's flexing for no reason.
He's flexing for no reason. He doesn't actually have anything.
So what you're saying is Krampus just gave him the confidence to go after it himself?
Damn right. That's exactly what I'm saying. So Krampus is actually a really good role model to follow.
So it sounds like Krampus is a life coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. He has his own like self-help book.
And the results, they speak for themselves.
Yeah, he goes to seminars across the country trying to like teach them how to take power for themselves. But yeah, basically talking about like, oh, like I've been preparing Grimsvig to, like, you know, give me strength or whatnot. Then realize, oh yeah, I'm not that strong, and just drops the sword and immediately freaks out towards his wife. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, if we don't, like, you know, capture the Santa and all that, and also like have the feast and whatnot, and go through like my plans, yeah, we're just all gonna die. So just think about that for a second. And like he's like, you know, he's begging his wife to like to get him out of this somehow. And it's, you know, he goes from like very like wife beater mode to very like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm doing mode. help. But yeah, so it transitions to another Yuletime night. We see a mysterious figure that's clearly Klaus, dropping toys in chimneys, which I think is really cool. Dropping packages in chimneys, and they're literally, while he's doing it while he's doing it Assassin's Creed style. They're trying to figure out, oh my god, how is he doing this? How is he able to drop how are we not able to catch this guy? Because he's and it's becoming very aggravating and very annoying that they have to make us patrol these very cold nights. But then you see this one soldier that the other soldier's talking with is just like, hey, like, but I think it's kind of cool though. Like, it's kind of exciting that that people are having toys and all that stuff, and it reminds us of the old time back when we were children and all that stuff. Like, hey, bro, listen, you better calm that ass. You better stop talking about all that mess. That's illegal here. We can't I don't want to have to turn you in. It basically said, remember, like, the Baron hears everything, so like, be careful what you say. And then you see Klaus again with his Witcher. Like, I swear to God, either Grant Morrison the Witcher show came out after this clearly, but like, he read the books or played the games. Like, you see freaking Klaus with these glowing like orange eyes, like he's fucking Geralt. It's so great. But he starts reading this letter. And basically, like, it's starting off with, "Dear Santa, I hope I hope my very special wish will reach you." And basically, like, he gets caught by another guard, but he gets caught by a guard. He's talking about like, what's the deal like with the patrol? He doesn't have time for it, so he just knocks him out. I don't have that page, but it's a really cool page. Transitions to that little boy that we saw earlier, that we've been focused on his father in the mines. Basically talking about how so the story goes, he's the ghost of the young captain come back to give the Baron his lump. So basically, they think he's like the spirit of like Klaus coming back to take his revenge during Yuletime. And then while this is happening, while they're talking about all these stories and these rumors are going around, a guard's like, "Hey, listen, man." He's like, "Didn't you see what happened yesterday? We killed some fools for talking all that mess. Like, don't make us try to make you into more examples." Then we see this man get smacked the fuck up in the face, very strong. Like, he stumbles upon the ground, and he's like, someone had to tell him. Someone had to tell him only one man has to work at Yuletime, and that's me. And we get to see Klaus in his like badass like Santa-esque like type of costume. I don't know what your thoughts are. I love the design of it. It looks really dope. Yeah, I don't know what y'all have to say on this page.
Yeah, the suits are really great. I don't know what you want me to say. Nice design.
It's a really cool design. And then he said, yeah, like, he basically tells everyone, yeah, I just dropped off gifts for all the kiddos. Yeah, from this moment on, you guys are basically having a day off. And basically it's like, and I like how he mentions that, yeah, like, like, tell them Santa wears the red and the white of Grimsvik. It's like the white stands for the snow of our homeland, and then it said the red stands for the blood of the working people who built this town. And it's like your colors. And I like that's pretty cool. Pretty cool detail there. So they basically, like, they knock some of the guards out. He gives the rest of them shovels. And he's like, "Hey guys, so you're free to go now. I got some shit to do though, so you're gonna see me later. But yeah, go on, be free. I'm gonna have a party in a bit." And it transitions to I got lost my thought. It transitions to Magnus and Dragmar going to be like, "Yo, like, I've worked tirelessly, to make sure that our country is strong. That me and you are strong monarchy for this kingdom, and basically, like, all these rumors around the Yuletime spirit and this wild man is fucking everything up, and I don't like it. So."
Fuck the wild man.
Yeah, basically, it's like, it's like the fact that, like, Santa can't even show himself is just ridiculous. Like, where's this Santa? Like, he's like, they'll if they kill me, guess who they're gonna kill next? My husband, my wife, and my son, because they're affiliated with me because we're affiliated, and they're just like, nah, like, they're not tyrants. They won't do that to me and our son. Like, listen, you don't know that though. He's like, so either he's like, and things like it's like the voice is trying to protect us. So either obey the voice or die. Then it transitions to the guards be like, hey, like, yeah, the guards come through, like, hey, there's a revolution starting, so you might want to take care of that right quick. Transitions to Klaus reading this letter. And I'm not gonna read the whole thing just because that's work, but essentially it's just like, talking about like all he basically wants is just, just to have for his family to have like a warmer Christmas. I think he's asked for like, hey, we don't have a chimney, so can you like give us a chimney or like something to like make us warm or some shit like that. It's like a very kind of like half-assed like story, but it convinces Klaus to like go on the prowl.
It's obviously written by a 35-year-old man pretending to be a child to lure Santa into getting smacked in the face.
Yeah. But yeah, so it then Dragmar comes out and it basically is like, basically like, yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And then the moment they come out, we see the people in front of the in front of the castle doors. She's out of it, and then she's like, hey, like, guys, remember when I used to? It's like, don't you remember when I used to be nice? And they just throw shit at her and be like, oh my gosh, they don't believe in me anymore. They think I ain't shit. Oh my god, my husband's.
I would. Did you point out what it was that Jonas asked for in that letter?
Let's. Yeah, the fact that like you said, like our house has no like the chimney, right? No. He said that
the actual present he asked for. I'm saying.
Yeah, he wanted wooden horses for Yuletime. That's based off of like the Greek myths, I think.
Mm-hmm. That would be Trojan.
The Trojan. Yep.
Troy.
Wow.
And that's a good one because
I feel fucking stupid. Okay. But yeah, that. Good. Thanks for bringing that out, Demoan. That actually is good on you, Morrison. That was smart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she gets pelted on with garbage. While like Magnus smiles in the background. So then he ends up going to the house where this letter is where the person who wrote it lives. And nope, it's a trap. It's actually Carl tied up. And he finds Carl tied up, and basically he's ambushed by a bunch of guards. He fights them off. He tries to, and he's actually doing a pretty solid job. He ends up making his way outside of like, the window, and then outside of the window, he notices that, once he gets out of the window, there are a bunch of archers that are pointing like glowing green arrows right in front of him. They shoot. They ends up, lighting a fire, and the whole fucking building explodes. So yeah, Carl dies. So Carl dies, and then you see Klaus is actually.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I completely caught that the first time that Carl died.
Yeah, Carl dies straight up.
He was there for like a couple issues. It wasn't all that special.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You're right though.
Klaus actually jumps out the window with some arrows in him. He jumps into another house, and I love the fact that like the moment he gets into this other house, they see him. He asks for help because he's hurt, and they're just like, he's in here, get him! Like they immediately snitch. Like it's kind of wild. So Klaus, gets his bearings. He's on the run, ends up jumping from house to house, doing some really cool acrobatic shit. Ends up in an alley where he faces that same kid that he met in the first issue that you've been talking about. And while this is happening, the kid's family is basically fighting with these guards because these guards are taking his siblings away, and for unknown reason they're trying to stop them. And while they're distracted, he ends up taking Klaus and injured Klaus out of Grimsvig to make sure that he's safe. So he's taking him back to his house in the wilderness. It transitions to Magnus, being like, to Magnus being like, and then Dragman be like, oh, like, what have you done? Like, what's going on? While Klaus and the kid are going to safety in the wilderness, where they encounter Lily. Klaus has to inform Lily that, oh no, the kid's good, don't worry about him, he's safe, he's with us. And basically what happens is, while he's weaker, he puts him, he actually is pretty smart with this, and actually like takes a sled, puts Klaus on it, ties it to Lily, and so they can trek forward and basically like he basically says like, oh, like we have to go. He basically like everything is dark. Hurry into the dark forest, or which is essentially where, if once they go through, they'll go to Klaus's home, and then basically the book ends with basically being like, oh, like he's sick. Of Magnus tracking Klaus and being like, oh, he's sick, he's injured, he hasn't gone too far, and he's like, and basically he's like, on the contrary, like, now that like you've killed him, like it's kind of crossed him off the list of my problems, but to make sure that we finish the job is like, that makes sure that they proceed to like the inevitable conclusion of the event. So what's down in the cave, the plan with what in the mines, the dinner, and then all that's gonna be unfolding soon. So that's how the issue ends. So thoughts on issue 5?
Man, poor
I think
Klaus.
issue 5 is really good. It really ramps up. It's like it's you can tell it's starting to get toward the climax with it all.
Yeah, that family really was a dick just to leave poor Klaus hanging. I was like, hey, go finish murdering this guy. We don't want none of this shit.
Exactly. It's a really good issue. Some very good twists and turns, especially like the fact that that was their plan all along. That with the Trojan horse, which is like, dude, I did not catch that. So thanks, Demoan.
Pretty clever.
Hey, we got it.
That's good. That's really good writing. But yeah, with the Trojan horse and the fact that it was a trap all along. That was their plan to use Klaus's like goodness as a way to like ambush him and like kill him, which is really cool. Again, Klaus, kind of embracing this Yuletime spirit, this Santa role that he's taking, dropping off the toys, freeing all of the miners to start a revolution, showing off that badass outfit, and also reminding like what the colors that he's wearing stands for the people of Grimsvig is really cool. And also the fact that Magnus be crazy, Magnus be bonkers, which is kind of what we've been noticing. He more truly and more
do be wilding.
Yeah, he wilding out. So yeah, I thought this issue was really fun, very well written, and had some really good twists and stuff. So, and I love the fact that it kind of ends with Klaus at his lowest. So yeah, I loved it a lot.
I also very much appreciate watching the Baron's descent into madness. Because he's very clearly going crazier and crazier as this story continues, and I love it for him, even though I hate him.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty cool to see like how he's just going like lower and lower as a character. But yeah, I thought this issue was dope. I mean, I don't know. You have anything else to say about issue 5 from on issue 6? Nope, nada. All right, so issue 6, Christian, that is you. You got the last 2. So
I got you.
Time to start contributing, bud.
My pleasure. Let's talk about the cover.
Cool.
Wolves. They're nice. Old man. Do you guys know who that old man is in the back?
That's Klaus.
That is Klaus.
That's like Santa.
Old man.
That's
Klaus.
that's like as well to say Santa.
Like that's like we're seeing Klaus in the present, and then we're seeing what Klaus what his future entails, in this journey. So it's a really cool cover for that.
Yeah, this cover looks great.
Incredibly sexy.
Really a lot of really sexy wolves looking energetic and angry as you would like in a wolf. And let's get started on the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So it begins with a snapshot of the kings about to enter the town. And your boy Jonas being concerned because his mom wants to leave. And he's all like, but we gotta stay. There's gonna be a feast. I want to meet these kings. I'm not allowed to leave. And then his mom is like, shut the fuck up. We gotta go. Your dad be crazy. And then Jonas was like, yeah, you know what? That's a valid point.
He came with us with a fucking sword, bro. What else do you want?
Yes, sir.
How many red flags do you need?
Escape. And now we cut to Klaus's home, where this kid who actually saved Klaus is dragging his poor myrtle body inside. And you see a whole bunch of different types of herbs and healing medicines.
He's like, give me my hemp. I need some hemp. That's the universal cure.
It's because Klaus knows how to poison people, so he would know all of this stuff. So I guess he did kill Baron Alric.
And the kid's a little bit curious as to knowing if he's actually a spirit. His dad doesn't really believe that Klaus is a spirit, and he's wondering, do you believe in evil spirits? And Klaus is all like, well, I believe in spirits in general. When it comes to evil spirits, I don't see why the fuck not. Anyway, can you get me that non-internal bleeding medicine? I'm kind of still dying here, kid. And the kid's like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll go head out and get you some more of these herbs. So he heads outside with Lily, and he's like, whoa, there's some really pretty lights happening over here. That must be those spirits that Klaus was talking about. And then Lily gets all startled. And then boom, she gets hit right in the ass cheeks by an arrow. And then another right in the shoulder. Like, the kid is concerned, as you'd expect, and the dog starts to run. And boom, the Baron has found the secret lair of Klaus. And he just starts riddling that area with arrows, burning that whole situation. Klaus obviously leaves because his house is on fire, asks the kid, hey, why is my house on fire? And then wham, gets hit right in the back of the head, knocked out. He wakes up in the middle of an area of ice, a frozen lake, all Jesus style, strapped down. And of course, the bad guy does his bad guy monologue. Back in the wilderness where you belong, where it all begins, as if all your life's meant no more than a dream. This is a whole tidbit of him just rubbing in how he won and how he's going to abduct the kid for his evil doings. And they did not break the ice in this one. I guess they just left him there to
just left him there.
Die. We cut back into the village where we have the little kid being dragged by his neck and entered into this area where they're keeping all the kids. And we don't know why there are all these kids in here, but they're feeding them quite a bit of sweets. And the kid, the smart one, the one who was Klaus, was like, hey, aren't you curious why this asshole is giving us sweets all of a sudden?
It's so funny. He's just like, why are you all so dumb right now? This is clear. Like, why would they just... We're not even allowed to play with toys, and all of a sudden they're just dragging us all here to eat candy and just cookies and shit. You're not suspicious by it?
Yes, sir. And then his little sister was like, sweet's good. Why are you asking questions? And her older brother's like, nah, think about it. They're trying to fatten us up for some unknown reason. Like he's fattening up geese or something. And his little sister's like, I like geese. Geese are
It's
good.
a real Hansel and Gretel situation.
It is
a Hansel and Gretel situation. After the whole Hansel and Gretel situation, we cut back into the mines. There is this man collapsing out of pure exhaustion, and the kid's father trying to convince him to keep going, to keep fighting. And of course, the guards are continuously being dickheads and forcing these poor guys to work till they die. You think, oh man, this fucking sucks for those poor guys. All they have to do is keep on mining. So that's what they do. They keep on mining, and they finally hit what they were taking for this entire time. The voice that they continuously hear. The legendary Krampus. And you could see in this panel over here, his eye emerging. And they finally realize he is free from this rock, free from the book, and he is about to enter the world and eat some kids. Some deliciously immaculate kids.
That's right. He's a kitty gobbler.
Yep, he's gonna go.
Kitty gobbler.
That didn't sound right.
That does not. No.
Yeah, we'll just move on from that weird
Yeah,
statement.
pretend I never said that one.
Yeah.
The SWAT team pulls in. You just get swatted.
You're under arrest for being cringe. All right. So all the miners are trying to escape, and Krampus is walking through. The kids' dads are still there. Really intimidating stuff right there. We come back to the kids. They're still eating like the little piggly wigglies they are. And
I mean, in fairness, I'd probably eat too at this point. Like, at this point, I'm either gonna die on an empty stomach or a full stomach. It seems like.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do? I mean,
Right.
you haven't eaten anything at all, and all of a sudden you're given all these top quality treats. You're gonna say no
Yeah,
to that? Of course
a
not.
couple of little Snicker snackers.
Yes. Snickers.
Hashtag.
Okay. No hashtag
No
Snickers.
hashtag Snickers.
No hashtag Snickers snaggers. So after the kids continue eating, we cut back to the king and his royal guard entering the chambers of the baron. They're obviously pissed because all these people are not happy, not eating, working to death, and they're all like, "Hey, this is kind of dickish behavior."
Oh,
We
plot
leave.
twist. The king is reasonable.
Yeah, plot twist, the king is reasonable. And he's like, give these people some damn rights. And the baron was like, oh, rights? Who has time to give people rights when we have this delicious feast for you all? Please, just continue to stay here and eat while nothing nefarious happens in the background. Then the guards come in with his wife and child, explaining that they made it about a mile away from the castle, sir. And obviously, they're pretty upset that they got caught. The Baron is like, "Oh, I'm so happy. My family's here. My loving, adorable family's here for my most triumphant time." And then Krampus enters the hall.
He looks awesome.
Yeah, look at that. Let's just
He
take a
looks
moment and
so scary.
appreciate this design.
Oh, dude. I love the skull head. The skull head, the chains. Is that his tongue? Yeah.
That's his
Yeah.
tongue. Yeah.
He's
As
he's
he moves
gonna lick.
around, he's just burning shit. He just touches a random guy and melts him. He's hot.
Asking for children.
In the temperature wise. And he's just asking for kids.
Yeah.
Yep. So, after we have the introduction of Krampus, we are sent back to Klaus. He's comatose from all that coldness. Maybe he should have put on a shirt because, he's been wearing a tank top this entire time. And then Lily comes by to try to wake him up. He's like, stop licking me and get help. And she's like, oh, shit, you're right. We could get help. And she starts to sing and bring in the good spirits to come and help Klaus out.
Well, I mean, he also whistles as well. So like he like whistles with like his last like dying breath.
Yes. Klaus also whistles.
Lily just harmonizes with him.
Yeah. So they harmonize, and then the spirits are like, oh, we're going to fix this boy up. We're going to make him top quality. We're going to make him into like a legend. We're going to turn this boy into fucking Santa Claus. And his eyes open wide as he enters this new mythical dimension of thought or whatever.
Yeah.
His mind is being blown by all these strange creatures and incredible runes that are coming by. And the spirits that he has long relied on blesses him and creates him into a better version of him. They place rock runes on his chest, and he screams in agony. And so ends issue 6.
Like I don't know what Morrison was going here with like what these like Christmas, like they're aliens. Like they look like either aliens or like fourth dimensional beings. I don't know.
I mean, we can't confirm he was on acid when
he was on acid when he wrote this.
It makes sense. It really makes sense.
Sometimes you just see aliens and fourth dimensional beings on acid. It happens to the best of us, but also the worst of us. Believe it or not the people in the middle.
Oh, it's just
not the most average. Only the people at the two ends.
Gotcha.
Like Grant Morrison, when we get you on the podcast for an interview at some point, that's our biggest question. Like
when?
Like, were you on acid when you wrote this comic book?
Were you ever not on acid?
Are the things that you're displaying in this? Did you actually see these things?
It is a pretty trippy sight.
But yeah, no. Issue 6 is really good. It's also like again more of a climactic issue of what's going on. Love that that we see freaking how cruel Magnus is, and he literally just like tried to crucify this man in order to kill him, which is like kind of fucked up. The actual plan of the children coming into play is that they're actually being fed for they're being fattened up as food for Krampus was like, oh, that's like, it's really very Hansel and Gretel, but also like, very, interesting in terms of like his take on like the Krampus lore as well as the Santa stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, the Krampus design is so cool. It's so just metal. Like, I don't know. Like,
we have
good job.
We have a couple even better, I think, better pictures of Krampus drawn, like in the coming up in issue 7 that I think were some of my favorites.
Yeah, issue 7 is where you get real metal.
Yeah,
some nice splash pages in there.
But yeah, I kind of also want to notice that, like, yeah, when Lily and Klaus are like, dying there, I want to play the fact like, like they don't just like go to like near death, they like actually die, like they're literally die in like until the spirits get there, so that them like coming in and like basically putting those runes on them actually like is kind of like a actual like legitimate like rebirth for the character in a way. So like now it goes from like Klaus to like Santa, Ooh. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, I love this issue a lot. It's really cool. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. We ready for issue 7?
Yeah, let's go to the last issue. Christian, take us home for issue 7.
I got you. All right, let's go talk about this cover. Very badass. He's got an arrow in his shoulder. Not the best one so far.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is kind of the laziest one, in my opinion. I just don't like the fact that like it's just the character and like a black like rectangle in the center and just like 2 other like things. There could have been more done with like there could have been more creativity done with this cover, I think.
Yeah, I think he just kind of peaked at the beginning, and he was like, "All right, you know what? Downhill from here." We already made it to the end.
I guess. Yeah, maybe. But I wish there was more put in this cover. But
me too.
Just me.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of the strongest ones.
Mm-hmm. It's a simple one. Mm-hmm. Definitely not bad, but very simple.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this story. So it begins in a kitchen. One of the kids is crawling out the food vent that they were being provided food through. And the only smart kid is asking if he could actually made it, and it was good. He was actually able to make it. His little sister starts asking, "Hey, so is the spirit of Christmas gonna save us?" And our older brother's like, "Nah, he done diddly dead." And then the little sister's like, "Ah, shit. Well, I mean, if the good spirit isn't here to save us, who's going to protect us from the bad spirits?" And you know what? Speak of the devil, to the bad spirit Krampus running around yelling, "Oh, man, I'm going to eat some kids. Boy, I'm just
he's like,
looking forward to eating these kids."
It was like all like greedy bad children, put him in my sack. Like he's just like,
Yes, sir. He's going to gobble them up, and he's gonna go for Jonas first. He slaps Jonas's mom right out of the way.
Backhands her, yo. Put his front hand backhand with her for a second.
Yes, sir.
He doesn't even use his hand. He has a bag. I don't know what's in that bag.
Mm-hmm.
That could be other children's bodies.
Yeah,
could be.
So the Baron, seeing that his entire house was on fire and the demon that he released is doing demon-related things, was like, "Hey, wait a minute. You're a bad guy. What are you doing killing my family? This isn't the plan. I set you free. Give me something in return."
But what actually happens in the book is just like, he looks in the book and is like, "Yeah, wow, everything in 1985 was on fire."
Yeah. And it was on fire. And speaking of book, the Baron was looking inside the book that he was reading to learn about Krampus, and he noticed that his image has disappeared. And he
set Krampus a little too free.
He did. And he has no longer any method of controlling Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
And then Krampus was like, "Oh, you want to control me, little man? Try it. Try to control me." And then the Baron was like, "Man, all my life, I've sacrificed so much shit for you. And all I ask is immortality, infinite power, my wife looking at me while we have sex. I mean, you couldn't give me any of it." Yeah. But then Krampus was all like, all right, we're going to ignore that last part. And we're just going to say, you're just doing all of this for yourself. You're a weak man just pretending that I was anything else but a demon. And you're going to stay weak like the little bitch boy you are. My power is mine alone and not yours.
Oh Lord! Oh no! Shout out to Mr. Brooks real quick. What's up, Mr. Brooks? Long time no see.
Yeah.
How you doing? Oh man.
So Jonas's mom, being the only decent parent in the room, begins to attack Krampus and shoots him right in the eye, giving Jonas the opportunity to escape from Krampus. And he runs away, as a human would do from a giant monster that's on fire. He goes towards the kitchen, where the kids are currently trying to escape, and he slams right into them. And he's like, ew! Peasants, don't give me any of your peasant germs. And then the only smart kid was like, the fuck? And then Krampus arrives, being like, I'm gonna eat those kids. I'm gonna eat you up. And
I just love the fact that he's like, get into my sack.
Yes, sir. And he obviously targets Jonas first because he's one of the baddest of the bad kids, and he loves bad kids, the most delectable. So he picks him up, and he's like, ooh, which one of you kids are next? And when he's about to go swoop in and eat another kid, do we know this father's name?
Gunnar Mikkelsen?
Gunnar Mikkelsen.
Gunnar Mikkelsen. Oh, he says it. Because the author knows you don't give a shit about his name.
Guys, let's think about this, right? We went through 6 issues of not knowing what the fuck this man's name is, only for him to fucking say it in the last issue.
What do you mean we went through 6 issues? He said this like 3 or 4 times before. I knew his name was Gunnar Mikkelsen.
So Gunnar Mikkelsen.
I knew his name was Gunnar Mikkelsen when he was first delivering the presents.
And then you just didn't say anything when we...
Gunnar Mikkelsen wasn't delivering... Oh, when Klaus was delivering the presents. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, it was that first night Gunnar Mikkelsen woke up. It was his wife who told him, hey, your children are playing with toys. Fix that shit.
Yeah, Gunnar Mikkelsen used to be a bad father. But now...
No, he's a good father.
He's a good father. He just overworked.
Yeah, exactly. But now he's going to be a damn good father and just straight up stabs Krampus right in the back with his axe. And he's like, run, kids. I'm going to fight this big-ass beast. And then his kid was like, wow, that's my dad. And then Gunnar Mikkelsen's like, the fuck you doing? Leave. And they start to leave.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Get out of here. What are you doing? And
why are you just standing here watching?
Exactly. All the smart kids leave, and then when he gets knocked off of Krampus' back, he's like, why are you still here? Why are only my kids still in the burning building? And he picks them up.
Because we love you, Dad!
Shut up and run! So he starts to run. And then Krampus is all like, you could run as much as you want, but it's too late. Nothing can save you from me and my sack. And you'd think that. Yeah. But then Krampus, with the most metal pose possible, was like, man, I gotta disagree with that evil shit. And he just comes in with lightning in his background. Right, Mikey, do you not have this image?
Of course I have this image.
I was waiting, man. I was buying time. It's like, when is he gonna bring it up?
I'm not gonna lie. I would have been a little upset if you didn't have the image.
Yeah.
We would have had to stop this podcast.
This is literally the money shot. Okay.
So the most metal image possible of these badass wolves, Lily leading the front. I mean, Lily on the side. All the other wolves.
Well, Lily's all the way at back. I don't know what you mean leading the front.
Yeah. And then thunder striking in the background.
Listen, I've seen some badass things in my day, and I'm gonna put this in solo layout so like the viewers can see. This is one of the coolest fucking things I've ever fucking seen in a comic book.
That is straight from an 80s metal cover band.
Dude, it is sick. I love the design of the sleigh too.
I love the faces of every dog that we can see.
Yeah,
they're so intense with their little tongues hanging out.
It's so sick. Like the wolves, the sleigh design is so like, it looks very like like very like Christmassy, but also very like kind of like alien and like magical. It looks really cool. And it's like the lightning in the background. It's just sick. I also love the fact that like Lily's special. She doesn't need to like be be strapped with the other wolves. She's the special wolf.
Right.
So
she's the ride or die.
Rudolph of the gang.
Yeah.
No, she's not. Because if she was, she'd
You're
be
right.
up front.
She'd be up front.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's my bad. That's my bad. That's my
God.
bad.
It's all right. I forgive you.
But yeah, this
Anyway.
is
You should.
Dan Mora.
Okay.
You killed the shit. Just want to let you know you killed this shit.
Back to the fight. Krampus was all like, oh shit, that's metal as fuck. I might not be able to fight this. And then Klaus just hits him with a whap with the side of his sleigh, jumps off of it, and with 2 daggers in his hand, goes straight into this guy's chest and starts stabbing the living shit out of him. Jonas's mom screams Jonas, because that's what moms do when their children are in danger. Yeah. What's this guy? These people are suffered. Who is this guy pulling her back?
Oh, that is.
Is that Carl? I thought he died.
Well, I guess he didn't. Good job, Carl. So Klaus and Lily are beating the shit out of this monster. And when Klaus lifts up his knife for the final blow, all of a sudden, the Baron, out of nowhere, just stabs Klaus right through the chest. Because he's a dick. And then he does this cute little pun where he says, for the man who has everything, I give you Baron Ulrich's sword. Say thank you, you bitch.
You bitch.
And he falls down to his knee. Lily comes to start attacking Krampus some more, but Krampus is like, psych, motherfucker. And then the Baron is back 1-to-1 with Krampus, and it's like, I just saved your life. You owe me these powers. You owe me so much right now, and I demand you give me what I deserve. I want my people to love me. I want my wife to love me and look me in the eyes during sex. I want my son to love me. And then his wife was like, Magnus, I won't look you in the eyes. No, this is horrible. Everything you have done so far was horrible. Everything is on fire. And Magnus was like, I sacrificed everything for this. For you, for my family, to become king, and you as my queen. And his wife was like, you murdered a lot of people. You murdered my father. You murdered Klaus. You surrendered to a monster, Magnus, and it's over. I am finished with you. And then Magnus was like, I'm never going to get laid ever again. And he won't, because he's a dick. And he screams at the monster one last time, you owe me. And then Krampus was like, you're right, I do owe you something. And just dumps a whole bucket of magma right on the Baron's body. You could see his skin and being melted away, bone and muscle being exposed from the sheer heat of it all. And everyone is cheering because, contrary to popular belief, he wasn't a very liked politician.
Wait, what? I thought he won the popular vote in this town.
He did.
So everyone cheered Krampus because, the ding dang dong, the witch is dead and all that stuff. And then Krampus was like, all right, well, that was fun. Back to my objective of eating babies. And he finds Jonas trying to run away. And he was like, nah, man, psych. And he gets a chain, wraps him around his leg, and starts dragging him back to get consumed. Back to Jonas's mom. She's like, all right, enough of this maiden shit. I'm going to fight for my son. And then the Baron is like, yeah, save her son. Please. And he just, crumbles.
I care about him all of a sudden.
Yes. And then Klaus is like, well,
no, I will say, it seems like he always cared about his family. He was just extremely misguided.
I agree. He was too distracted by power. He thought that was the solution for everything. But
it's true. He seemed extremely possessive, too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So after the Baron turns into dust, Klaus walks through his pile of ashes with swagger, and he was like, "Sup, bitch? I'm alive again." And then Jonas's mom was like, "I thought you died. What the fuck?" And then Klaus was all like, "Hey, something happened to me out in the ice. The Shining family brought me back. I think I'm kind of immortal now, or something. I haven't had a lot of time to think about it. So let's just move on and kill this guy." And she was like, "Wow, bet." Krampus goes to Klaus's chariot of epicness, and he's like, "Everything I touch turns into mine. And I'm going to take this whatever God-fangled flying machine, and I'm going to go to the 8th corner orb, forged of the rarest thought metal by the hated elders." What?
An 8-cornered orb sounds a lot like a cube to me.
Yeah. Yeah, they clearly weren't smart back then.
Well, if you think about it, like, yeah,
are you gonna defend?
No, I can't. I really
no. Also, I just want to full screen it again real quick. I love that sleigh, that really cool
evil looking
the Krampus one.
Sleigh. It's so sick. Like, oh man, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So Krampus turns Klaus's badass sleigh to an even more badass sleigh, straight out of hell.
Straight out of Compton.
Jonas's mom was like, "Please save my son," and Klaus is like, "That's what I do, bitch. Stay with my dog, my wolf. He'll keep you safe. I guess the other guys are there too to keep you safe." And he brings back that old saying, "If there's smoke, it doesn't always mean fire," which I don't know who says that, but I guess he says it.
Yeah, no one says that.
Really? No one at all. Yeah. So Klaus is like, "Ha ha ha ha! I'm gonna bring this kid up into not one. I'm gonna bring this kid up into what was it called? The Aurora Borealis."
Yeah, I think it's just space.
The Northern Lights.
Northern Lights.
Yeah. It was the Northern Lights I was going to.
So I mean, Aurora. That's the same thing.
Yeah. He's going past the Northern Lights so he could consume this child in peace. And Jonas was like, "Man, this Krampus guy, he only eats bad kids. I must be a bad kid. But Santa gave me a toy for me. So I guess I can't be all that bad because Santa gives toys to only good kids. Right?" And then Krampus is like, "What are you talking about? That doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm going to eat you now." And he just starts crying.
So does that mean he's like a completely average child?
Yes.
That's
probably
also,
what we could
assume. Can you imagine being like an average kid and like instead of like, oh, just getting nothing for Christmas, it balanced out, like you got a PS5, but you were also kidnapped for a week? Can you imagine if that was the trade-off?
It'd be kind of worth it, not gonna lie.
It'd be kind of worth okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a PS5, dude. They're expensive.
It's true.
Yeah. So as Krampus flies into the stratosphere, Klaus is running off this building because it's obviously as high as the stratosphere. Because why the fuck not? Let's see. Yeah, they fly off. Krampus grabs onto the sleigh. And as Krampus tries to do a final blow on Santa to kill him, Santa's all like, "Haha, there ain't no air in space, bitch. So your fire doesn't work here." And then he just slices his head off clean. And then we have a nice little image of outer space, and then they begin to fall. Klaus grabs his Jonas's body as they fall through, bursts into flames, lands right into the dirt, and he saves the day.
Yeah, I just love the fact that like he's even said, "Do you know what else?" Before he kills this man, and while I still have this page up, he's like, "Do you all know what else is funny? Up here, your fire don't burn. Ho 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 ho!" Well, he slices this man's head off. It is fucking awesome. It is. Oh man, Santa Claus is dope.
He said the thing. He said the ho.
He said the ho. That's literally what this was for.
He's full of joy and mirth.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
man.
All right. So back to it. Klaus saves the day. He saves the kid, and he's finally able to bring back Christmas, but in this case, Yuletime times, back to the town. Everyone has a fun old time, and Klaus is the advisor to amends for his late husband's dark misdeeds. Yeah, Jonas's mom is now the ruler of the area now. They have multiple really sick Christmases from there on out. And as time goes on, Jonas's mom ages, but Klaus stays the same. Eventually, she dies of old age, and we go to their funeral, where we have a fully grown Jonas and the whole city standing around her body. Now that Klaus has no reason to stay, he mounts his chariot and is about to go. Jonas is all like, "You're leaving us, man? Why? Don't do that." And then Klaus is like, "Nah, I got work to do, man. Being a spirit is tough as shit. I gotta go, whatever the bullshit." Is there anything else I'm missing from this ending?
No, not really. It just says like he just his last line before he leaves, like, yeah, when there's need of a light in the darkness, and it's just like, that's it. Yeah, he just goes off into space. Really cool page too.
Beautiful page.
Yeah, so he just continues, goes off and does more, continues to be Santa, basically.
Wow,
that's how it ends.
I respect Santa for that. Let's go, Santa. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Well, this is one of the best Tim Allen stories ever.
Honestly, what a twist.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on
Santa Claus 3?
This should have been a Santa Claus 3 shit.
No, it's Santa Claus 4, the return of the Santa Claus-ing.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, what are your thoughts on issue 7, guys? The last issue. I think it's really fun. It's such a fun ending. It's such a good ending.
Really great ending.
Actually,
really nice splash page at the end.
Yeah, it's actually like kind of like learned something that, like, yeah, like, you know, it's just, I like how, like, when before he kills Krampus, he said, like, yeah, he doesn't, the fact that, like, this version of Santa is like, there's no like naughty or nice. He believes that every child, no matter like even if they're naughty at first, has the potential to be nice, to be good. So he said because he believes there's no bad children, which is why Jonas got a toy even though he was a dickhead. So yeah, I thought that was a really nice way to, like, a nice message to wrap around it towards the end. So, but yeah, no, this is really. I love this issue. It's really cool. And also the fact that, like, yeah, like he kind of like aged, like he kind of like had a bunch of Christmases with the woman that he loves and stuff, but yeah, like he just stayed the same, unfortunately, because, you know, the acid trip beings made him immortal. So but yeah, I thought this was good
acid
stuff.
Trips will do that to you.
They will do that to you. Yeah, but it's good stuff. A good fight with Krampus versus Klaus and all that other stuff. I thought it was really fun. It was really cool. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on issue 7. I really liked it a lot. But yeah, any other thoughts on 7 before we move on to, like, our final thoughts at all? None? All right. So people, final thoughts, Christian, Demoan, I'm sorry, Saint Nicholas and Klaus the Red. What are your final thoughts and your final verdict of Klaus?
5.8 out of 7.
5.8 out of 7?
I think it's a solid Christmas story. I think it takes a nice spin on the classic Christmas tale of Santa that most people already know. It added in Krampus, which is a fun twist. Yeah, you don't normally see those two together in literature, which I think is always interesting. And I gotta support wolves over reindeers.
I agree. I personally would give it a 5.6 out of 7 Saint Nicholases. The art was really fantastic. The story was pretty good, really action-packed. Nothing, life-changing with the story. It was pretty straightforward. Hero comes by, defeats the villain, but pretty good.
Yeah, same here with me. I love it. I think I'm gonna give it like a 5.5 out of 7. Really solid. Grant, because I'm so used to Grant Morrison's other work, like Demoan. If you'll know if you've read his stuff. I don't know if Christian's read Grant Morrison stuff. He's very, like, out of the box and just crazy. So the fact that he kind of did this with a Santa Claus story is just, I think it works. It like you don't expect it to work, but it works. And
yeah, it definitely works.
And the fact that he kind of incorporates a lot of like the established like mythology and like lore and history with Santa Claus and makes it into this dark, twisted fantasy tale of it. His origin is really well done. I love Klaus. Klaus as a character. I love the themes that they introduce in terms of like the meanings of Christmas and like the importance of, you know, like joy and, you know, loving and family and all that other stuff. It's really cool. Dan Mora kills the art again. I become a big fan of his work in the past few years. I love the action, everything, the acid trips, all of it. It's really well done. And also Jordi Belair, the colorist, very well done in terms of the coloring for this book. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and it's one of my favorite Grant Morrison books. Along with like Doom Patrol and like Flex Mentallo and like all the other weird shit he's done.
I think this might legitimately be one of my favorite Christmas comics, specifically Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
This is now I will admit,
yeah,
I don't know a lot of Christmas comics off the top of my head. So
this is probably the only prominent one that I've actually know about in the past, like in my time of reading comics. So besides like Marvel Christmas specials and DC Christmas specials, but like this is like the first indie comic I've ever read that's focused on just Christmas and like Santa. So yeah, I feel that as well. I just want to note that like because this came out in 2016. I mean, it's been how many years? Like 6 years since.
God, don't say that out loud.
Cut this conversation short.
What's up?
I do got an early day tomorrow.
Of course. But I want to just point out real quick. Yeah, there's like a bunch of spin-offs for this. About like I think like 6 of them. So yeah, there's more Klaus to read in case anyone wants to like read more of the story because it does continue. But yeah, overall we like it. We'll probably give it the Indie Corner stamp of approval. I think because it's just so out of the box and just fun and very creative. So
I think it deserves it.
Gotcha. But yeah, guys, that's basically it. That's our holiday special, people. Thanks for the people that are watching this or will watch this. We appreciate it. I mean, we got a really big turnout today, so that's nice to see. Thank you guys so much because this is actually gonna be the last like actual like podcast we were doing for the year because we wanted like the holiday season this month to be very simple because we're busy, we're doing holiday stuff and being with our families and all that. So it's a nice little breather. But we appreciate the support. It's been a nice like almost 7 months doing this podcast. We've grown up to like I believe like 93 subscribers. So we're like almost at 100. I hope we beat 100 before the new year starts. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, guys, it's been a really nice ride. Appreciate the support, appreciate the love with the Transformers stuff, the one and dones, the clips, the Indie Corner After Dark stuff. We put a lot of hard work into what we do here. I mean, and especially the people that are and participate in the podcast and stuff. So really appreciate it. Just real quick before we move on, just so that people realize, we're doing Transformers again back in January. So be on the lookout for that. Sex Criminals is on hold for the time being, but if you go to the community tab on the channel, I put in a poll for potential books you might do to replace that series in the future for next year. So that's a choice between Fight Club 2, East of West, Die, and Deadly Class. So feel free to choose which one you think you should
Die.
But yeah, oh shit, we got a comment. Oh shoot, Sean, my boy, shout out to Sean Eileen of the Zion Network, my mentor, my homie, my friend. Coming back at the last minute. Sean, come on, you always give me shit for coming on Zion the last minute, but you gotta come on our show last minute. Come on now, fam. I'm just kidding. We love you, fam. But yeah, thank you so much, Sean. We appreciate it. It means a lot. But yeah, so be on lookout for the poll. Also just be aware from some of the content coming on next year. An After Dark, one of the first After Darks we're going to be doing, so it's a little announcement. We're going to be doing the best of worst of 2020, which is covering the best and worst comics, best and worst TV shows and movies, and all that stuff. So, but yeah, guys, that's basically it. Thanks again. Appreciate the support. Chris, you want to leave a question? Because you're on, so you have to have a question. It's tradition.
I hope you have a happy holidays.
That is not.
Let us know.
Oh shit.
Let us know what you do today on your happy holidays and whatever you're gonna be planning on doing in the future. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's Christian's question. And yeah, thanks again. Also, most importantly, people, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah.
Happy Honda days.
Yeah, happy Honda.
Happy Quambus.
Happy Columbus.
Happy Falafel Day.
Yeah.
Also, Happy Flag Day.
Happy Flag Day. Most importantly,
Flag Day is the 14th of June.
Is it?
I want to go to sleep.
Yes.
Most importantly, people, have a Merry Christmas from the Indie Corner family to yours, and we'll see y'all next year. All right, have a good one, guys.
Merry Christmas.